It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring Dante Hill and Joe Shasky.
Well, I'm about that action, boss.
Take it out! This is the morning roast on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. Oh, baby. We made it to Wednesday. And what a fun Wednesday it's going to be here on the Morning Roast. Good morning to everybody out there getting off your graveyard shift. If you're at work, what is up? If you're getting ready for work or if you're on the roadways, what is up? Good morning. Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. Craig back on the board. What is happening? Lubman. And, of course, nice guy Stephen Langford in for Joe Shasky, the Butcher. We're going to continue to roll about the 49ers. Got a quick little snippet about the Warriors, actually. The executives picked their NBA champ for the upcoming season. They picked their best Western Conference team. And you wouldn't believe the slight the Warriors got from the execs. So we'll get into that a little bit later in the show. We got a great guest list. Phil Simms going to join us at 7:30, two-time Super Bowl champ with the New York Giants. You know he has takes on takes on takes about Jimmy Garoppolo. And speaking of Jimmy, Shanahan and Lynch, they held their conference call. And there was a lot of Shanahan in that. A lot of Shanahan speaking about Jimmy Garoppolo. And here's the latest. Langford, he's cleared.
Yep.
He's going to practice tomorrow. Niners are off today.
Yep.
Get back on the field tomorrow. He's going to practice, and he will be the backup quarterback week 1 against the Chicago Bears.
We got plenty of time to talk about Jimmy coming up here, but I was pretty, on the 53-man roster overall, I was pretty surprised at some of the moves that they made.
Which one caught your eye at first?
Well, the first one was... Well, first off, it was Jason Poe. Jason Poe, I thought this dude, he had a lot of athletic ability. I mean, this dude is 6'1", and he's mauling people over. But then in that third Texans game, when you're paying attention to him, when he gets to that second or third level, it seemed like he was missing block after block. So that didn't really feel like it was going to be his place with the team. Didn't feel like it was that strong. But also, Keikomo Toure, another guy who showed out in preseason, number 53. He was an edge rusher. I thought he was going to add to the depth of the D-line, but they ended up waiving Toure. And, he didn't really show out in that third game either, so maybe they wanted to see what he looked like against the Texans to see if he could do it consistently. But I was taken surprised by that. And then number 3, them keeping Brock Purdy as the third quarterback. Like, what the hell happened there, Dante? They're keeping Brock Purdy as the third.
Last year, they only kept 2 quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
They're keeping 3 this year. Maybe they felt the 49ers, they couldn't sneak Brock Purdy through waivers to make the practice squad. But I was shocked. And I was alarmed when Shanahan mentioned yesterday in his conference call that if Jimmy wasn't around, Brock Purdy would have been the number 2 quarterback behind Trey Lance week 1 in Chicago. That blew me away. Brock Purdy would have been your backup quarterback behind second-year quarterback Trey Lance.
Yeah.
That worried me a lot. That's why it's a good thing Jimmy is back. There's no doubt about that. My biggest surprise, baby, it's not Trey Sermon, per se, but I got a sneaky one. Jordan Willis.
Yeah.
Jordan Willis. Do we all remember the Green Bay game?
Yeah.
The block.
Yeah.
I was surprised they let go of Jordan Willis. Also, Malik Turner looked like it was going to be a good special team player.
Yeah, we thought we thought they were going to hold 6 wide receivers and that they had the wide receiver, or Malik Turner at least had that 6 wide receiver spot locked up. But it turns out they're not keeping all 6. They're keeping Tyler Kroft in his place.
Tyler Kroft. So, forgot to say good morning to everybody on YouTube and Twitch, and of course the Comcast Business text line. YouTube's already humming. They're already saying, why didn't we trade this guy? I didn't trade this guy.
Yeah.
I see one Giant text, Giants going for first to worst in the West. Yeah, the Giants are bad. They're bad. They lost 6 in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not exactly. Yeah, Brandon Crawford's going to get a lot of the looks at the errors, but really it's because he didn't have Brandon Belt at first base. Like, for all... I know we crush Brandon Belt. We tend to do that on this show. But I will say this, from everything that we've seen in his career, one thing he's been very consistent with, because he's been so inconsistent at the plate.
Right.
Sometimes he looks like he's the best hitter in baseball. Then most times he looks like he deserves to be in the bottom third of any lineup in the league, 7th, 8th, or 9th. But at first base, I don't think it's disputable that he was very talented first baseman.
No doubt.
Very good at first base. And now that you're putting in, what was it, your mean Mercedes playing first last night? Was that who it was? Sheesh.
Can I admit something?
What's that?
I watched the first 3 innings and I was done. I said, I can't watch this.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I'm going to flip on Hard Knocks. I'm going to watch Game of Thrones. No, I have not watched the N1 doc yet on Netflix. Actually, you know what? I did watch that. The players got hosed on that. They got hosed.
I need to watch that one.
Yeah, that's all I'll say. About that.
Don't they have the Tim Donaghy one too?
Yeah.
They have the Donaghy one? I forgot. I think it's called like Flagrant Foul or something.
Came out yesterday.
Yeah.
So, Malik Turner getting cut.
Yeah.
Maybe they could bring him back. Jordan Willis out. Apparently, I see here on the Comcast Business text line, he resigned after being cut. I need some validation on that one because last I checked, he wasn't on the roster, but I could be wrong. Rob Guerrero is going to join us at 8 o'clock, 8 in the morning. He has some thoughts on Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah?
He's from Niners Nation, so that'd be a lot of fun to get into it. Going to be a big Jimmy show. Big Jimmy show. So, Jimmy Ward on short-term IR. A lot of people saying Willis could be brought back. That was one. I was like, wait, we're going to cut Jordan Willis. They traded for him when he was a New York Jet. I think he's been a very good Niner. So if he is coming back, that's a good move, I believe, for the 49ers. But Trey Sermon, he's back. JaMychal Hasty's out. Trey Sermon in. And they keep the young man Mason. Mason made the roster. Number 41, he's running hard. So little surprises here and there, but that's what happens when you have a stacked roster.
It looks like Tyler Kroft and Jordan Willis will both return to the club after being released because they put Jimmy Ward and Curtis Robinson on the short-term IR. So for the first 4 weeks of the season. And I'm glad that Jordan Mason made the roster.
Yeah.
Because going into the 53-man, I mean, yesterday we were, constantly talking about Jimmy Garoppolo because what else would there be to talk about? Well, the other thing there would be to talk about would have been the running backs and what they're going to do there. Are they just going to keep 4 and keep Kyle Juszczyk on and have a backfield with 5 guys? Are they going to keep 5 running backs and make that total to 6 and turn that total into 6? Are they going to cut Trey Sermon and JaMychal Hasty? It felt like JaMychal Hasty was going to be the odd man out.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to stay healthy.
Yeah.
He hasn't been able to stay healthy. And what is he outside of just being a guy who can run between the tackles? He runs hard. I like Hasty a lot. But young man out of Baylor, the Baylor Bears, they're producing players left and right. I'm not giving up on Trey Sermon. I think there's still something there with Trey Sermon, especially in the pass game on third downs. I think he could be a damn good receiving back for the 49ers, so we'll see about that.
You know what was interesting? Yesterday I was catching up on Peter King's Football Morning in America. Now, I know he did join Damon and Ratto yesterday, but and he also said that you can't have a turd in the quarterback room. That was a highlight from Peter King's interview with Damon and Ratto. But
yeah, that's a little weird verbiage.
Yeah, you can't have a turd in the quarterback room, Bonte. That's the number 1 rule.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But I was reading his Football Morning in America column for NBC Sports, and he went through 20 little fantasy tidbits, and one of them was pick a 49ers running back, any 49ers running back. And he said that Elijah Mitchell is going to be the bell cow. Elijah Mitchell is going to be the dude, which I think we can. I think that's a pretty safe summation there. I think it's a pretty safe hypothesis for what's going to happen during the season. Elijah Mitchell should be the guy. But then he said Trey Sermon is going to be the number 2. And no one's really going to focus on that because, they're not.
I can see that. I can see that, though.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that.
Man.
Jeff Wilson Jr.?
That's what I. See, is it going to turn into that?
But you never know with the 49ers backfield. I wouldn't guess.
Really don't.
Outside of Elijah Mitchell, I wouldn't guess on who's going to get carries, who's going to get snaps, who's going to be inactive on game day. Is Sermon going to be active on game day? Is Mason going to be active on game day?
Right.
I have no clue. No clue whatsoever what's going to happen in that running back room. But you got a good running back coach in Anthony Lynn. Shanahan knows the run game. We'll see about that.
Yeah, Jordan Mason I like, though. I'm glad that he made the roster. I was thinking that he was going to be the odd man out to get cut, possibly, along with JaMychal Hasty if they were just keeping 4.
Yeah.
But Jordan Mason and what he's shown me, and this is different to Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon in that Texans game, he made a couple of really nice runs. But there were also times where he was very indecisive behind the line of scrimmage. And I go back to Matt Breida and Raheem Mostert. Now, Matt Breida had the fumbling issues. Like, that was one of the reasons as to why they had Raheem Mostert really take over. And then, of course, the injuries to Matt Breida as well. But I felt like Raheem Mostert, when he was in, he was way more decisive.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, when he'd get the ball in his hands, he'd see the lane that he's going to run through. And no matter what happens, he's going to hit that spot. Well, I saw the same thing from Jordan Mason compared to Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon behind the line of scrimmage was very indecisive.
Yep.
And instead of trying to cut inside and maybe go in between the guard and the tackle, he tried to bounce outside when it really wasn't working, when there wasn't an open lane. With Jordan Mason, even if he was making the decision to bounce outside, he did it right away, and he hit that. I was impressed with Jordan Mason personally. I thought he should have made the 53-man roster.
Yeah.
I'm glad he did.
Yeah, no, he looks good. He runs the ball hard. He may see the field at times. Elijah Mitchell looks like he bulked up. He averaged 4.7 yards a carry last season. It's no joke.
He was a stud.
He was a stud last year, so I think he was a dark horse for Rookie of the Year with the way he ran the ball, but he missed 6 games in the regular season, so that kind of took him out of the running there. But look, Trey Sermon's back. I'm glad that Jordan Willis did get brought back. I think he's a good special teamer, a nice situational pass rusher for the 49ers. That just shows how deep they are on the defensive line. A lot of people said bring Jaquiski Tartt back as he was cut by the Philadelphia Eagles. And you know what the Niners do on defense with their safeties. Both of the safeties are interchangeable.
Right.
We see Jimmy Ward sometimes play in the box. Hufanga's playing the deep third, or Jaquiski Tartt last season playing the deep third or the deep middle, whatever. Bring it back, Tartt. I'm not mad at that because you need some veteran leadership back there without Jimmy Ward the first 4 games. Tarvarius Moore, if he gets to start, I'm going to be screaming. I'm going to be a little nervous about that because he takes bad angles, doesn't tackle well. I'm not sold on him, especially with the Niners cutting to Sean Gibson. Now, Tony Jefferson got cut by the Ravens yesterday. Do you take another look at him? I know he was in camp with the 49ers, wasn't healthy. Maybe you take another look at him. I don't know, but Jaquiski Tartt would be a nice addition to this team, bringing him back. And look, I know we're all ticked off about the NFC Championship game. When he dropped the interception, the momentum did swing. There's no doubt about that. That was the play we're going to focus on because you always focus on the play. But he was a damn good 49er, a good hitter, a good tackler. I wouldn't mind him being back in red and gold.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. It'd be better. He'd be a better option than what you got with Moore. There's no doubt about that. But my main question would be, can you maximize his ability when Jimmy Ward is not on the field? Because him and Jimmy Ward, they used to play high school, right? They used to play on the same high school team, if I'm not mistaken. Him and Jimmy Ward, they worked very well together. They made a very good, they were a part of a very good secondary for the 49ers. When Jaquiski Tartt and Jimmy Ward were in, they were in sync with each other. I wonder what that would look like with Tartt and Hufanga compared to maybe Moore and Hufanga. So in that instance, I'm a little more skeptical. I was actually reading this article yesterday too from Ted Nguyen. You know Ted Nguyen.
Ted Nguyen.
From The Athletic.
Ted Nguyen.
He does fantastic breakdowns of everything. He started out with the Raiders, then eventually turned into a national NFL guy because they realized they have something special with him as a writer. And he was writing about Justin Fields and had his 5 preseason takeaways. And there was one where he said Justin Fields seems a little more decisive than he used to be with the football. A lot of times last year it was hold on to the football because he had a terrible offensive line.
Terrible.
So he'd hold on to that football a little too long and wouldn't make the right decision right away because football is so quick. I don't think people realize as a quarterback, you can't just hold on to the football and just think that people are going to be open. No, you sometimes got to make the decision right away because guys are only going to be open for a little amount of time. They were running this play where the defense was in cover 3 and the safety totally bit on what the wide receiver was going to do, and it let Cole Kmet wide open on the corner in the end zone. The cover 3, you're normally supposed to block that corner route right there, but it was wide open. And I'm thinking about that first week in the 49ers game on September 11th, and I'm like, man, if that happens with the safeties, if they're in cover 3 and they miss an assignment, Fields is no slouch, man. I know
Fields could sling that pill.
He can, man.
He could throw that rock, man.
It's that defense I'm a little down on. The offense, though, they could maybe they can maybe do something.
They could do a little something. I like Eddie Robinson though at safety for the Chicago Bears, number 4. He looks really good. Roquan Swift's going to be playing for some money. He's going to be moving around. Roquan's a beast. He's going to want his money after the season. So we got all next week to break down the Chicago Bears, and I cannot wait.
I love it.
Football's
back, baby.
Football is back. It is back. But Bears do have speed. By the way, did you see who made their 53?
Who?
Dante Pettis.
Dante Pettis?
Dante Pettis.
Congrats to him, man. Shout out to Dante.
Dante Pettis.
What a time. Coming back from the doghouse with Kyle Shanahan. I thought Dante Pettis was going to be the real deal.
Yeah, I did too.
His second year with the team, everyone had him as the sleeper pick, Who Who are your sleepers for fantasy this year?
Didn't quite work out.
Didn't pan out.
All right, so this is an interesting question real quick. Does anybody know if they have already retired Curry's Davidson jersey number? They're going to do that, I believe, this weekend. He's going to receive his diploma from Davidson,
right,
and they're going to retire his jersey up there. I guess they have to do it before the season, obviously, because Steph Curry played in the NBA. Probably can't get back out there to Davidson. So I believe they're going to do that this week. I know Marcus Thompson is out there in Davidson, in North Carolina, to go see what's happening with Stephen Curry.
I saw our guy Jason Dumas interviewing him yesterday.
Jason Dumas is blowing up, man. What's this guy?
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere, dude. Everywhere. It's on the greens. He's getting all the views. I'm like, man, Jason Dumas can't do no wrong right now. Can't do any wrong. By the way, #random, as Guru would say. There's a digitalcommons.pepperdine.edu page up on my screen here. Religious and spiritual beliefs, practices, professional attitudes, and behaviors of clinical and counseling psychology interns. Who the hell was in last night? With Dan Devone? Dan Devone, what the hell are you doing? Looking up religious stuff during the show?
That sounds like a pop-up. Is that a pop-up?
No, it wasn't a pop. It was up. It was up.
Well, I mean, it popped up. Do you think it popped up? I don't know if you searched it.
It was on the tab.
I don't know. I'm not going to make any snap judgments. You know how many tabs I open, Bonte? It's crazy, actually, when I open my laptop when I get home.
We got Manti Te'o up on the computer in this studio here, so some sort of conversation maybe around that.
Actually, in the green room, we had someone searching up whether Tom Brady got plastic surgery during the 2-week break. What are people searching around here?
At night. What are they searching at night? All right, here, before a couple minutes here, the big story of the day, obviously, Langford, and we're going to talk to Phil Simms again at 7:30.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo. And I'm just going to play Lynch's opening statement.
Oh, boy.
And the timeline of the contract. It's a little long here. Here's the opening statement from John Lynch, GM of the 49ers. They spoke yesterday at 11:45 here on the West Coast, of course. Lynch, his opening statement about bringing Jimmy Garoppolo back.
Yesterday was a really good day for this organization. It was because of our belief in our team as it's currently constructed that we wanted to add another piece, and it was from in-house with Jimmy, and we're really pleased that we were able to do it. It took everyone's cooperation. It took a lot of patience, and we feel that was rewarded.
And here's the timeline of the contract with Jimmy Garoppolo.
I think we've been consistent, with a player of his caliber. You don't just allow him to walk. And then other things complicated, as we've talked about a lot, with his shoulder surgery. And so that never materialized. Obviously, there were going to be some deadlines, but Kyle and I just started floating the idea probably a month ago. What if we kept him here in a backup capacity? At some point we shared that with Jimmy. It was important for Kyle to let Trey know, that may be a possibility, and I think that's the right thing to do. But the crux of the matter, this wasn't going to happen, and I understand it completely from Jimmy's side. He had his current contract, and they were going to exhaust every opportunity. His agents, Carter Chow and Don Yee, have been doing this a long time, and they probably rightly so. I remember at one conversation, think if this were your son, you'd wait for every opportunity to collect that whole salary, and the way you do that is, a lot can happen. And so they waited it out, we waited it out, but we had been in communication, and then it came to fruition yesterday morning.
And that's John Lynch, his opening statement and the timeline of the contract negotiations. Now, some people say it happened within the last 48 hours, dating back to yesterday. You heard John Lynch there say a month. I'm not sure when it started, but it's actually smart business when they did start the process, because a lot of people are saying, well, why not let Jimmy compete with Trey in training camp? Well, if that happens and Jimmy beats out Trey Lance, now I don't believe that would happen, but if it did, then you have to pay Jimmy the full $24.2 million.
Yes.
So from a business standpoint, this was a smart move to have him wait it out. And then, a week before the regular season, hey, Jimmy, what are your options?
Right.
Here you go.
Now, I believe that this move, the reason I was saying yesterday, and maybe this was something that I missed out on talking about, maybe I missed something here, but when I said, this decision wasn't made till the last minute, well, because they clearly, it sounds to me like they were not planning on sticking with him through this year. Like a month ago, when they started talking about it a month ago, it sounded like John Lynch was saying, oh, wait, we have an opportunity here to sign Jimmy Garoppolo. We have an opportunity. Teams aren't going to pick him up. Maybe they thought another team was going to be giving him some sort of paycheck that was maybe north of $6.5 million in base salary.
Right.
Maybe there was going to be another team, and they had that mindset. So I think I believe everything that they're saying here. And I'm curious to hear what Kyle Shanahan had to say about it, because I think that overall, this move wasn't premeditated.
Right.
I don't think this was their plan all along.
No. Nobody's plan.
No.
Nobody's plan. So we'll break it down a little bit more. We got a lot of Shanahan sound.
You know whose plan it was, Bonte?
Whose plan?
Evil Jimmy. I'm debuting a character. Evil Jimmy. Evil Jimmy. That's coming up in 6:50. I know coming up next, we want to talk a little
snippet of Evil Jimmy.
Evil Jimmy. It was me who did it. Evil Jimmy. 6:50.
That face.
Yeah. Evil Jimmy.
Kind of look like Chucky.
We got the cameras on here.
Kind of look like Chucky.
Evil Jimmy.
Face?
It was me.
Oh, man. And we'll get into the Brock Purdy, man. Brock Purdy, a lot of hype on Brock Purdy. Gosh, I can't believe he made this damn roster. I can't believe it. I'm going to stick to my guns. I don't think Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. I don't give a damn what we saw in training camp, what we saw in the preseason. Brock Purdy would have been the number 2 if Jimmy didn't sign. How would that have worked out? Anyway, what's coming up on game, sponsored by Lucky California, Evil Jimmy, Little Warrior snippet here. We got more and more Shanahan sound from yesterday. Down in Santa Clara, Jimmy Garoppolo is back. Niners set their 53-man roster. Again, that is sponsored by Lucky California. Incredible foods leads to unforgettable times. So Lucky California has the deals that paved the way to a spectacular Labor Day weekend. Bone-in ribeye steaks are just $6.99 a pound in a max pack. Lucky California, the golden state of eating.
Trista Crick will beg you out. Betting week 1 of the NFL season can seem like a crapshoot because we really don't have much data to go on. So let's look at historical trends to find an edge. Here's one to consider. The Pittsburgh Steelers are just 3-7 in the last 10 years against the spread in their season opener. This year, they are a 6.5-point underdog at Cincinnati. If history is any judge, hammer the Bengals and hammer them hard. I'm Trista Crick, helping you be the bookie.
Staples has everything for school at great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward and master 5th grade math.
I can't do this. It's impossible.
Not you, Dad, your daughter. Staples will help her move forward.
Right.
Right now, Staples comp books and number 2 pencils are just 50 cents each. Plus, 2 pocket paper folders are only 25 cents each. Everything on your list at amazing prices. Staples, we're not going back. We're going forward to school. Ends 9/3, in-store only, limit 30.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New gigabit extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Live on DAZN pay-per-view, September 17th, Part 3. Canelo versus Triple G. To take the trilogy, Bad Blood, a score to settle, controversy, brutality, pure hostility. For victory, for history, for the trilogy. Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin. September 17th, live on DAZN pay-per-view. Visit DAZN.com.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
If you owe back taxes to the IRS, have unfiled returns, or are worried about an audit, the IRS is hiring 87,000 new agents to address these very issues. That means if you need to get your tax problems resolved, now is the time to get started. I'm tax attorney Robert Goldstein, and my firm specializes in helping individuals and small businesses resolve their tax problems. We work to stop IRS and state seizures. We may be able to settle your tax debt for pennies on the dollar with an offer in compromise. We prepare your past due returns, even if you have no records, and represent you before the IRS and state in an audit. At the law offices of Robert Goldstein, the consultation is always free, and we have offices located throughout the Bay Area. To schedule your free consultation, call 1-888-TAX-EXIT. That's 888-TAXEXIT. 888-TAX-EXIT, and make us your last stop.
Bart is turning 50, and we'd love to celebrate with you. Get 50% off your ride in honor of Bart's 50 years of service to the Bay Area when you pay with Clipper. That's 50% off Clipper Bart fares for the entire month of September. Add Clipper to your digital wallet for free. If you're eligible for other Clipper discounts like youth or senior fares, you get to take an additional 50% off those too. Details at bart.gov/50 years. That's bart.gov/50 years. Celebrate Bart's 50 years of service with us this September. Let's go.
Don't waste your time trying to sell your old car. Donate it to Cars for Kids. It's the easiest and fastest way to donate your car and get a tax deduction. Donate online at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 smart bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balancing so you stay cool. It's even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you slept. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. Don't miss our Labor Day weekend special where all smart beds are on sale. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Labor Day. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. An oil change with quality oil like Castrol Edge Full Synthetic can help your engine get more out of every tank. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $37.99. Get what you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
Detroit Lions tried to trade for Nate Sudfeld. Looks like Nate Sudfeld is headed to Detroit. Lions expected to sign the former 49ers backup Nate Sudfeld after he was cut yesterday ahead of the 1 p.m. deadline where teams had to submit their final 53-man roster. Now, of course, we're going to see guys come up, come down, go on IR. But the 53-man roster for everybody in the league, all 32 teams, have been set. And Nate Sudfeld looking to sign with the Lions after they cut their backup quarterback and Hard Knock star David Blau?
I believe so. Blau.
David Blau?
I believe it's Blau.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Wasn't he so... I feel like he was on Hard Knocks before. What roster has David Blau been on?
I don't know if he's been on Hard Knocks before, but I know Jared Goff's been on it. This is his third time.
It's
his third time being on it.
Haven't featured him much.
No, they haven't, because it's his third time. It's his third time. The only thing
that's where David was. He was with the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, really?
And I think he was on Hard Knocks on that one with Tyrod Taylor, Baker Mayfield.
He was on that one?
I think he was on that one.
Where Baker Mayfield had that weird RV quarterback room? You remember that? He had the RV specialized just for quarterbacks. This is where we come to hang out.
Yeah.
Where quarterbacks can get away from everyone else.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Cool. You have an RV.
Story. Yeah.
Camper van? I don't know what it was.
Yeah. How about this? I love Fedge and I love trolls. 510 Comcast Business Text Line. Out of nowhere. How about those Oakland A's looking real good right now?
Yeah.
Is that supposed to I'm not even going to go there.
What?
This segment is presented by Golden State Lumber and Building Materials for professional builders and contractors throughout Northern California. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com. Hey, real quick.
It's a 3-game win streak, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool for them.
Cal Stevenson, Fremont guy.
It is cool. Before we get back to Jimmy, just real quick, I want to get your quick thoughts on this. Executives, scouts, coaches in the NBA,
right?
They did their yearly anonymous poll, where they picked the NBA champ, they picked the West Final champ, East Final champ, the MVP of the league, all that good stuff. How about this? The Western Conference champions, according to scouts and executives, the Clippers got the most votes with 8, Suns 3, Warriors 3, Nuggets 1. NBA champions, Clippers 5 votes, Bucks 4, Celtics 4, Warriors 2. Warriors 2. Now, there was an East scout who said Klay Thompson is going to be better. They're coming off the championship. Wiseman's back. Moody Poole will both be a year older, and as well as Kuminga. You've got to pick them because of experience. But a lot of people going heavy on the Clippers. Your thoughts?
I can understand that from I'm looking at this team on paper, because the Clippers on paper, they're a very good team. I mean, when you got Kawhi, Paul George, Norman Powell, you just make the addition of John Wall. You got guys like Reggie Jackson, Robert Covington, Marcus Morris Sr., who's decent enough as a wing player. The only thing they're not taking into account is the amount of games that these guys are actually going to play. Like John Wall, he's actually been through some very dark times. If you haven't seen it with John Wall, just go check out that article. The things that he was going through with his tore Achilles. He had deaths in the family during the COVID, when at the height of the pandemic. Like, he's been going through some tough times. So I don't want to just say, well, he's been hurt the whole time. How can you count on him for this season? But those are the facts. Ever since 2019, really, he hasn't been able to stay on the court. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. And I love John Wall. But just to say that the AFC, that the champs for the Western Conference are going to be the Warriors, just giving them 3 votes compared to 8 for the Clippers. I mean, the Suns are getting 3 votes.
Right.
The Suns, I find that even more disrespectful that the Warriors are tied with the Suns. If you want to give the Clippers the top spot, then fine. On paper, they look like a fantastic team.
Right.
You know? But the fact that the Suns looked like they were imploding last year, what? The Suns lost
to the Mavericks.
To the Mavs!
So they got 3 votes. And not to mention, Chris Paul's a year older. Can they stay healthy? What's their depth look like? I'm not a big.
You had everything going on with DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah, I'm not buying the stock on the Phoenix Suns. So just a quick poll there.
Yeah.
Warriors, they're going to start training camp soon, September 24th. Chase Center is going down. Then they go to Japan and they start the regular season October 18th. So basketball will be here before you know it. We had a quick segment here. I wanted to get your thoughts on that, because
part
these
of it,
polls, anonymous polls, and like MVP stuff, right? Like MVP, they were talking about the MVP of the league, and Steph Curry got 1 vote. Giannis got 5. Luka got 4. Embiid got 4. Morant got 1. No Jokic.
No Jokic, huh?
The back-to-back MVP. No MVP.
Even though Jokic is, going to have Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. back.
Yeah.
They're going to be a better team.
Yeah.
I don't know. What, JaMychal Green not on that team anymore because he's on the Warriors? But what? They're just not going to give Jokic that? Look, man, the preseason polls, you just can't believe any of them. I mean, think about it last year heading into the playoffs. Think about the amount of publications, whether it was ESPN or Fox Sports or anybody. They had the Lakers all winning the Western Conference.
All of them.
Everyone had the Lakers winning the Western Conference. And then what do you know? Things happen during the season, so I'm not going to put too much stock into it. One of my favorite things of throughout this article, though, was what was the most surprising move of the offseason?
Yeah.
Now, they have team-to-team moves. Rudy Gobert to Minnesota was the top vote getter. But then you got DeJounte Murray to Atlanta, which was surprising. Russell Westbrook still being a Laker. Pretty surprising. Malcolm Brogdon to the Celtics. Okay. No huge moves among the elite contenders. Okay. But my favorite one, James Harden taking a pay cut. I love how that's a category. I love how that's in the category. James Harden took a pay cut. What? And yeah, okay, a pay cut. He's, oh man, I want to make these players better. It's like, dude, you didn't take that much of a pay cut. It's not like you're taking Tom Brady types of pay cuts where it's like you're only making 10 or 11 million while these other players while you can pay these other players. It's not like that type of pay cut.
Yeah, no. All
right.
No. I'm not even. Don't even get me started.
And he cut out
James
birthday
Harden.
cake, apparently. Did you see the birthday cake thing?
Don't even get me started.
We were
on
getting
James
on
Harden.
Gabe Kapler about the steak cake and not eating the steak cake because he doesn't eat cake. James Harden took a whole ass cake and threw it out the boat window.
James Harden's having a fun summer. He's been hanging out with Kevin Durant. I'm gonna say my James Harden thoughts for basketball season.
Yeah,
I'll start. I'm gonna leave that alone.
But good.
The Warriors getting a little disrespected again in the polls.
Good. Because they use that as motivation.
Oh, they do.
Good.
They do.
Steph says he's seen it. That was all the emotion that he poured out. What was it? Game 3 against the Celtics?
Oh, game 4.
Game 4, excuse me.
3 points.
Man, that's more motivation for the Warriors. So good. That's what I say. Good.
You're already in character.
Yeah.
Evil Jimmy. Looming large. Plus, we'll get back into Shanahan sound. Phil Simms, 7:30, to talk more about Jimmy Garoppolo being back and the Niners' final 53-man roster. Yes, sir. A lot of people coming at me saying, you're going too hard on the third-string quarterback, Brock Purdy. I'm going to leave Brock Purdy alone. He made the roster. Good for him. It is a great story. Last pick of the draft, number 3 quarterback with the 49ers. There. I'm positive about Brock Purdy. I'll leave him alone, folks. This show's about Garoppolo, Trey Lance, though, because there's still a lot. We got to peel this onion, baby. Phil Simms, 7:30. Rob Guerrera, 8 o'clock, Niners Nation. But Evil Jimmy's coming up next on the Morning Roast, and that's sponsored by Fremont Bake. Full-service baking, no compromises.
Pink Floyd's Roger Waters. This is not a drill.
We're doing a show in the round. It's something new. I look forward to the challenge.
Featuring his songs from the golden era of Pink Floyd. Friday and Saturday, September 23rd and 24th, Chase Center in San Francisco. Tickets on sale now at rogerwaters.com.
This is not a drill.
Produced by AEG Presents.
Okay, you know those amazing spots only the true San Francisco locals are in on? Like Square Pizza. That place with the square pizzas? Or Mama Hoo-Hoo? The spot for sweet and sour chicken that's anything but so-so.
Order up!
You know, with the Granch dressing. And all the other spots the real SF locals know without us even saying them. Yeah, they're on DoorDash. San Francisco gets it. DoorDash has it.
Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years, like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models? Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake and tire replacements, oil changes, and much more. It's the ultimate convenience. Easy booking, transparent pricing, on-time arrivals, and service right in your driveway. No waiting rooms, and direct access to your mechanic with friendly and reliable service. No middleman or upsells. They're so sure you'll love the convenience. Take $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50. Kirby, your driveway mechanic.
Gorgeous gaming, stunning streams, unbelievable bandwidth. It's another Lifestyles of Gagillionaires. Meet the AT&T Fiber customers winning at life with hyper gig speeds. Meet Gagillionaire Terry. While his love of streaming horror movies has him constantly on the edge of his seat, his internet bill won't give him a scare.
Oh, don't go in there. I'm telling you.
Because since Terry upgraded to AT&T Fiber with hyper gig speeds, he doesn't worry about data caps or equipment fees.
Come on, man. The door's open for a reason.
And best yet, he also doesn't stress about a price increase at 12 months, because with the amazing Gagillionaire lifestyle comes an exquisite sense of tranquility. Most of the time. Live like a Gagillionaire. Get straightforward pricing with AT&T Fiber. Internet that upgrades everything. No data caps, no equipment fees, and no price increase at 12 months.
Limited availability in select areas. Visit att.com/hypergig for details.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you may be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com. That's getrefunds.com.
We all know someone who's all work and no chill. Trust me, that used to be me. But then I found Galaxy Z Fold 4, which allows me to do more things at once. Much better. Now I can take video calls from my phone and use it to take notes at the same time.
Wait, are you at the spa?
Or check my shopping list while ordering more scented candles and face masks on the foldable, expansive screen. Don't take your to-do list one line at a time. Multitask so you can relax.
Get the new Galaxy Z Fold 4 at Samsung.com today.
For all contest rules, go to 957thegame.com/rules.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay. Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. 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 Reese's.
Long weekends are all about getting a little you time. And at the Home Depot, you time means you building, you drilling, you doing, you recharging, you saving, and you going back for more. Do Labor Day your way and get a free 18-volt battery with select Milwaukee Power Toolkit purchases at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Nachos!
Hey, I'll take some.
And some Frank's Red Hot.
Nah.
You're just gonna eat these boring nachos with no flavor. Frank it up! Frank it up! This guy finally gets it.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
Breaking news on 95.7 The Game is brought to you by Beat the Street. For tips to win a $5.6 million prize. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh my God!
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
Phil Sims, 7:30. Rob Guerrero, Niners Nation. 8 o'clock. Excuse me, I almost said 8:30. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, Rob Guerrero. I got caught up in the beat. Come on, Craig, man. Come on, sing the lyrics, man. Give me the lyrics here, man. Come on.
Okay, now, ladies.
Come on, man. Slapping. That's got me going this morning. Lubman has no idea what's going on. Hey, Lubman, how about this? Fix your collar. All right? Fix your collar, buddy. Real quick before we get back into the 49ers. The show call with Lubman last night was absolutely epic. Absolutely epic.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, he just starts going off about the Giants. I'm like, hey, Lubman, we're not discussing the Giants tomorrow. We're not talking about them. They stink. They're now even with the Diamondbacks in the standings. They were 55 games better than the D-backs a year ago. They suck. They've lost 6 in a row. Nobody's going to the game. And he goes, well, it's Star Wars Day on Sunday. I said, people still go to that. Right? And I was like, that's still a thing? Sorry, Star Wars fans. I didn't know it was still a thing. But he's just going off about the Giants. He's giving me all these takes. I'm going to love him.
Yeah.
We know they're mediocre at best. There's no reason to get mad over this baseball team.
Right.
They're done. They're cooked. Relax.
I mean, that right there is why I'm mad about this baseball team. They're done. They're cooked. They're bad. They're just completely unwatchable, and it's incredibly frustrating.
Well, the thing I love about sports talk radio and sports talk in general is because we're all sports nuts, so we're consuming this stuff every single day, and you get a lot of pent-up thoughts. You know, ones that maybe not a lot of people can understand because you're just so consumed by it. And it's just like people, you'd say the same thing to someone else, and they'd be like, "What is it? What the hell are you talking about?" So I think Lubman just had a lot of pent up emotion and just poured it out in that phone call.
Well, that's twice in a 3-day span. Sunday, he was going crazy about getting swept about the Twins. I'm just so frustrated. Dominic Leone will throw a strike in the stupid rain delay, and you have 2-0 lead in top of the ninth. He's losing his mind over the Padres. Like, dude, football starts. We got a great college football slate on Saturday. All right, you got Arkansas, Cincinnati. You got Florida hosting Utah, and then you got the big boys. You got Notre Dame, Ohio State. I believe that game is at the Horseshoe, and somebody else plays at 12:30. It's another monster game on the Oregon against the Georgia Bulldogs in Atlanta. Then you get FSU, LSU Sunday. Then you get
Go Tigers.
Clemson, Georgia Tech. I mean, hey, pause. Go Noles. But listen, he's going crazy about the Giants. Like, look, we got Garoppolo mania, Evil Jimmy's lurking, Trey Lance, 53-man rosters, and Lubman's going crazy about the damn Giants.
This is the life I live, Bonte. It's my existence. It's my cross to bear.
It's a painful life.
This is the way I live. Sam Lubman. I love him.
It's a painful life. Hey, Sam, get out of the house. Get out of the house, will you?
What time was that at, by the way?
Let me pull this up here, because let me see. I'll pull it up right now. It was Sam Lubman. This is the last call of the day, actually.
You know, rant
7:08.
You make him sound like Jimmy Dugan when you break down this rant. He's like yelling, "Why do you throw home with a 2-run lead?"
Oh, dude, well, Austin Slater just got picked off, so he was losing his mind. And I was like, well, Austin Slater looks hurt. He just bruised his pinky. He'll suck it up.
Did you see how dislocated it was?
Well, the way you made it seem like it was nothing on the phone call. 7:08 p.m. at night. I'm trying to put baby Chaz down, and he's losing his mind about the Giants. Even Anna said, hey, tell Lubman to pipe it down. I don't need that energy right now. She said that.
Oh,
so that's where our producer's head is at.
I like how it's also 15 minutes into the Giants game, too.
Yeah, 15 minutes into the game.
15 minutes into
it. Was
it.
that Austin Slater stolen base? So Slater draws that walk. Kuiper's like, oh, he's 11 for 11 in stolen base attempts. I'm thinking to myself, that's literally what you say right before a guy gets thrown out on the bases. Literally, like 10 seconds later, Austin Slater gets picked off and thrown out on the bases. It's just like... I'm going to bang my head on the wall really quick. Hold on.
It was crazy.
Yeah, bang your head over the Giants. Hashtag game up, man. Or is it game down now? What is that? I still don't know.
Game off at this point.
That's good. That's good material.
Game off, game done.
All right. Let's get into something here, because Jimmy Garoppolo, sure, he's been one of the more, I think in my lifetime, the most underappreciated 49er, especially at the quarterback spot. Under Jimmy Garoppolo, when he starts a game in the regular season, 49ers are 33-14. In the playoffs, they're 4-2. It's pretty damn good. It's been a damn good Niner. But he's back now, and we had no clue that he was going to be back. And we're going to play a lot of sound from Shanahan. We'll get right back into it, folks. I promise you, if you missed it, we have it all up. But Jimmy does have an evil side. He doesn't speak much. He doesn't tweet much. Doesn't post on Instagram much. But we all believe there's an evil side to him, Langford. We all believe it.
Who's Langford?
Oh, wait. Is that Jimmy Garoppolo?
Evil Jimmy. I'm Evil Jimmy. You think $6.5 million is going to be my base salary this season? Well, let me tell you something, Bonte. $15.5 million in incentives, and I'm going to earn every single incentive that I can. Because you know what I'm doing? I'm Evil Jimmy, and I've been doing this since last season. I'm looking to sabotage Trey Lance. I've been doing this since last season, Bonte. I'm Evil Jimmy.
Okay, Evil.
Who do you think it was that told Kyle Shanahan to have Trey Lance run the ball 16 times in his first start? Who do you think it was?
Don Yee.
No, it was me, Evil Jimmy. I had him run 16 times because I knew he would be hurt through the season and there'd be no chance that he could start in my place.
Why would you do that to your own teammate when he's trying to win a game in Arizona?
Because I wanted to play the season and I knew Trey Lance was lurking. I knew that he was Jason Momoa in that meme right behind Superman. I knew that he was coming up on me.
I thought you were there to help Trey Lance and mentor him.
I am Evil Jimmy. Don't worry about what Trey Lance had to say at the media about how I'm his brother and how I treated him like a teammate. No, I am Evil Jimmy.
Then how come you left Trey Lance out to dry against the Houston Texans? You didn't play that week, and he helped you guys get to the playoffs after you stunk it up in Tennessee.
Did you see what I did at the end of the season? I made up for it. I said I had an avulsion fracture in my thumb. No, I did not. I acted like I played hurt to the end of the season. You know why? Because I am Evil Jimmy. You know what else I did?
What did you do?
You know what else I did? I dipped my hand in a vat of olive oil in that Rams game, and I gave a high five to Jaquoski Tart. And you know what Jaquaski Tart did?
He dropped an interception.
He
Why would
dropped
you do
that
that?
interception. You know why? Because everyone's going to blame Jaquaski Tart, when in reality it could have been me. But you know what? I am evil Jimmy. It was Jaquaski Tart's fault, and everyone's going to blame Jaquaski Tart. This was all the master plan, so fans would have a reason this offseason to bring me back.
So, Evil Jimmy, is that
They
why
don't blame me. They don't blame me.
No, trust me, Evil Jimmy. We're all blaming you. We blame you a lot.
They blame Jaquaski Tart. You said it at the beginning of the show, Bonte, because I am evil Jimmy.
Listen, so is that why you waited until March 8th to get the shoulder surgery? Why couldn't you get it right after the season? Was this your plan all along?
Bonte, you're reading my mind. We're mind melding. You know too much about evil Jimmy. I held off that surgery so I would stick with the Niners because I knew this would be my best location to stay. You know what else I did this offseason, Bonte? You know what I did? Because I'm evil Jimmy. You know what else I did? Hey, you know that report from Michael Silver that I ghosted the 49ers in 2017 to 2018?
Sounds like you're evil. Sounds like something you would do.
That's exactly what I did. I did that this offseason, and I told Debo to do that exact same thing when in talks for a contract extension. I taught him how to vanish from the 49ers. You know why? Because I'm evil Jimmy.
Are you the reason why Rich Scangarello is now in Kentucky coaching offense and Brian Greasy's now here? Is that your doing?
That's a move. That's a move I didn't have much to do with. Kyle Shanahan did that under my hat. I didn't expect him to do that. I didn't think he was going to do that.
Oh my God!
Because I am evil Jimmy. You know what else I did?
What did you do?
I told Trey Lance this offseason, work as hard as you can. And then you know what I did after that? I went to Colin Cowherd and I said, Colin, he's suffering from arm fatigue. Get this out on your radio show right now. I told them about the arm fatigue, Bonte.
So wait a minute.
I'm evil Jimmy.
So wait, evil Jimmy, are you the one also telling Mike Florio and Chris Sims everything about everything with the 49ers and what Shanahan is thinking? Were you the one that leaked the Mac Jones news?
Who do you think told Chris Sims to rank Trey Lance behind Kellen Mond in his quarterback rankings? It was me, evil Jimmy. And you know what I'm going to do this year, Bonte?
What's that?
Oh, I'm going to do a lot this year. I'm going to do a lot. First off, I got a patch guy. I got a guy who created patches, and I'm going to create a C, and I'm going to run out leading the team in week 1 against Chicago. I'm going to be the one leading. I'm evil Jimmy.
Oh, boy. Does evil Jimmy like clipboards?
I don't like clipboards, Bonte, but I like game film, and you know what I've been doing? I've sat George Kittle, Trent Williams, all in a room together, along with Debo Samuel. And I've showed them every lowlight that Trey Lance has had so far in his career in the NFL.
So let me get
I'm not focusing on the highlights. I'm focusing on the lowlights. You know why? Because I'm evil Jimmy.
Well, lastly, evil Jimmy, are you the reason why this line looks shaky? Are you the reason why Lincoln Thomason left? Are you the reason why? Because you didn't want a lot of protection for Trey Lance in his second year as an NFL quarterback?
I told Robert Saleh, you need to go get Laken Tomlinson right now so that the line wouldn't be built up for Trey Lance in his first year starting. I got $14.5 million to make in incentives, Bonte. I am evil Jimmy. I will make my money.
Too evil, man. You got me shook right now.
Huh?
Evil Jimmy, please don't reappear ever again.
Why not?
Because you're evil.
Well, you know what I'm going to do.
Person.
You know what I'm going to do. I'm going to lead this team to a championship once that offensive line gets Trey hurt. And you know what I'm going to do. I am going to stick with this Niners team for the rest of my career. And you're going to have everything to talk about on Sports Talk Radio. I'm evil Jimmy.
Bye-bye, evil Jimmy.
You know what?
Bye-bye, evil
Let me say this.
Bye-bye, evil Jimmy.
Let me say this
Bye-bye.
about Jimmy.
Wait.
Money time! Money time!
Maybe Jimmy's going to say that after the season. You're not going to just snap from evil Jimmy back to nice guy Stephen Langford. And by the way, a lot of people saying you need to slap it to a Slim Jim, sound like Macho Man or Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
Maybe we're going to Undertaker at time. I have no idea. I have no idea what is going on.
It's evil Jimmy.
But
I don't know.
Jimmy.
He's left out the studio now.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's
Bye-bye,
gone.
evil. Get that spirit out of here.
No, I'm just thinking he's got $14.5 million in incentives, right? We're all saying, oh, he took that pay cut, $6.5 million. He's going to be making a base salary, but he has plenty of opportunity to make more money going into this season.
No doubt.
So I just like to think that there's some sort of evil side to Jimmy because he's just too good. You know what I mean? He's just too good of a guy. And you're going to hear from Kyle Shanahan. I can't wait to hear what Kyle Shanahan had to say because it just seems like everything that we talked about yesterday, all the intangible stuff, this could cause some turmoil in the locker room, whatever it is. It doesn't feel like there's going to be any of that. But if there was like an evil side to Jimmy, and he had like the devil on his shoulder telling him what to do. I mean, come on, man.
Of course, 650 Comcast Business Text Line. You still hanging out with porn stars, Evil Jimmy?
Evil Jimmy.
So Mike Garoppolo tweeted out the details of the contract.
Yeah.
$6.5 million, fully guaranteed base salary. He's going to get $29,000 per game if he's active. $29,000 per game if he's active. Getting a imagine getting a $29,000 check, man. That's every single week. It must be good. $250,000 for each game he takes 25% or more of the offensive snaps.
Yep.
Another $100,000 for each of those games the team wins. $500,000 for one playoff game he takes 50% or more of the offensive snaps. He's going to make another $500,000 for 50% or more of the offensive snaps in the conference championship game if the Niners make it that far. $500,000 more if he wins the conference championship game. So you do the math. We're adding up millions now. $1 million if he takes 50% or more of the offensive snaps in the Super Bowl. A $15.45 million maximum value. No trade clause. No franchise tag clause. So we could get over the trade clause. He could weigh some things.
He has 8 different opportunities to make money this season, Bonte.
And depending on who you talk to, he may have a chance to do that.
Oh,
he
boy.
may have a chance to do that. You are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ, FM, and AC1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And don't forget that you can also watch us every day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Just log on and search 95.7 The Game. Stephen Langford in for Joe Shasky the Butcher. I am Bonte Hill. Evil Jimmy is gone. Craig is here. Lutman's here. YouTube, Twitch. What is happening? Everybody out there on the roadways getting off your graveyard shifts. Good morning to everybody out there. Lutman putting people in YouTube jail. That's what's going on. That's what I'm seeing in the YouTube chat.
Really?
How does he monitor that? But let's get back into Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan's response to Jimmy Garoppolo returning.
If there was any chance of Jimmy remaining with the club, why wasn't he in meetings, and why was he not out there on the practice field to get him best prepared for the regular season?
I think that was because the chances were, to me, it seemed slim to none, just with the possibility of that happening. I mean, I told Jimmy came in here the first week of training camp, like I told you guys we would talk. I mean, we talked regularly because he was up here. He wasn't in meetings or practice, but I remember the first week of training camp, me saying to Jimmy, like, hey, if you...
Oh, great cut. Somebody cut that off. Good job. Here's the initial discussion with Jimmy.
Jimmy came in here the first week of training camp, like I told you guys we would talk. I mean, we talked regularly because he was up here. He wasn't in meetings or practice, but I remember the first week of training camp, me saying to Jimmy, like, if you don't like any of these opportunities, if you don't go to the place you want, you can't get the contract that you want, we would love to have you here as a backup in a backup role in that deal. But I want you to know that we feel that way. But I also think there's no way you're not going to get something as this goes throughout training camp. And Jimmy agreed with that.
So Jimmy agreed with it because I think this was the best option. And this is why I believe Don Yee, everybody's calling him the terrible agent. I think Don Yee did his client a solid. They played the game the right way. And by that, I mean, think about 2023. Jimmy could go be a free agent. He'll be the marquee guy on the market. He's going to get at least $12 million a year because the perception of Jimmy now is this guy's a consummate professional.
Yeah.
He said nothing. He's been beaten over the head by his fan base, by some media members, including yours truly. He's been kicked to the curb, and he has said nothing. Nothing. Maybe behind the scenes he's saying a lot, but he said nothing. His teammates actually love him. They love him. They do. They really do. And so I think Don Yee, knowing that, saying, hey, let me keep my client in San Francisco. They got the surgery late, March 8th, right? They waited. Now, if he didn't wait a month, he would have been throwing the football in late May. Maybe he gets traded for it. Maybe he's in Carolina. Maybe he's somewhere else. But the fact that he waited on the surgery and was like, Washington was like, oh, we want Jimmy. Jimmy probably do that. Don Yee probably do that. And we're like, yo, keep me away from that organization. I played for the Patriots and the 49ers. I do not want to go to Washington to that second-rate organization. It is a mess under Daniel Snyder, an absolute mess. Shout out to Brian Robinson Jr. Hopefully he's doing well after being shot. What a crazy story that is.
Yeah.
But Don Yee having Jimmy Garoppolo back in a situation where he knows the playbook and his teammates know that, man, he's been around for some big wins with us. Instead of going to a very new team, having to throw the football and ramp up.
Right.
And he might not even be ready. You know what I'm saying? There was a question about whether or not he'd be ready for week 1. I think Don Yee did his client a solid. And yeah, everybody's going to focus on the pay cut. Well, he's already baked in $100 million. And if he plays well, if he does get spot duty, or if he just holds the clipboard all year and doesn't say anything, he's going to get paid next year to be a starter. Somebody's going to be looking for a quarterback, and he'll get that money because of his record when he's in the lineup. So I think Don Yee actually did his client a solid here, and they used their leverage. They took their time. And now look at him back in San Francisco. You don't think he's going to have a chance to play if Trey Lance, say, starts 1-3? Or if Trey Lance gets hurt behind this offensive line, Langford? I think Don Yee did a great job.
Yeah, I think that when you really look at the teams, because the counterpoint to that would be, well, then he would have gotten traded somewhere and possibly been making more than the $6.5 million in base salary that he'd be making this year with the 49ers. But when you look at those other teams that he could have been drafted to, you got... drafted to. You got the Panthers, right? That was number 1. You got the Steelers, who were right there, but that Steelers team, that offensive line is trash trash. It's not good this year. It's not going to be good this year. Najee Harris is going to have his work cut out for him in that backfield. And whoever's a quarterback, Mitch Trubisky to start. I actually think Kenny Pickett's eventually going to get a starting job with that team. He looks pro ready. So look, I think Jimmy Garoppolo, dodged a bullet with that one.
Yep.
You got the Seahawks we could have gone to. Like, the Seahawks were that team. Mike Holmgren was on with Kruger and Willard yesterday. You have that sound?
I have it right now.
Because Mike Holmgren was saying this about Seattle, and Mike Holmgren, who lives up there and has connections, he said something very interesting about the Seahawks and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, I do. There have been a lot of changes, and as soon as Russell Wilson left, then they were trying to figure out how they're going to do this, and Baker Mayfield's name came up, different names came up, but once Mayfield left and went to Carolina, then who's available? I can remember sitting at my desk when we were trying to find the quarterback in Seattle. We eventually got Hasselbeck, but creating lists. Draft choices was one, trades were another one, free agents were another one. So the list gets narrow for a starting quarterback, and Jimmy was in that. I think people they're hard on him. There have been hard on him as far from an outsider looking in, but he's a good player, and I know the Seahawks would have been interested.
And that's Mike Holmgren, who should be in the Hall of Fame. He's got Super Bowl rings to his name. Great offensive coordinator, great head coach with the Seattle Seahawks, great head coach, of course, with the Green Bay Packers, where he won a Super Bowl as a head coach. Jimmy is a solid player. But
he wouldn't have fit with the Seahawks. That was the point.
With the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, DK and Tyler Lockett. Jimmy G knows his style of play. Like, he knows that they're not going to fit to what he does.
But also, everybody's focused on the pay cut, right? Oh, he went from 24. John Yee got him played. He didn't get to 20. He's already got $100 million in the bank. He's got $100 million in the bank. He's made out like a bandit as a second-round pick. All right? He's gotten his money. He's played in big games. He's got endorsements. That pay cut is a minor setback for a major comeback for Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's be honest. He plays in 3 games this year, and the Niners go 2-1. And Trey Lance takes over. Obviously, he plays the other 14 games, and the Niners go into the playoffs. But Jimmy says nothing. We know how this league is. They're going to say, man, Jimmy says nothing, man. He's going to be perfect in the locker room, blah, blah, blah. They're going to give him at least $12 million a year. So he's going to make up that money in the future, and he's only 30 years old, where we're seeing quarterbacks play until their late 30s. Now, is Jimmy going to play until his late 30s with his injury history? I have my doubts.
Yeah, I actually have my doubts about Jimmy being on another team in general. Think about the career that he's had.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Well, with the Patriots and the 49ers, he's had relatively the same system with those two teams that he's played with. Quarterbacks leading up to the age of 30, that doesn't happen very often. When we were making the Derek Carr to Jimmy G comparisons, it's okay. You can make them. You can make the comparison to how they are as a quarterback and look at the stats and everything. But what you got to acknowledge is that Derek Carr had been through offensive coordinator, head coach, offensive coordinator. I mean, to his own fault to an extent with Todd Downing back, I think it was 2017 that year. But Jimmy's been with 2 coaches his entire quarterback life. He understands the Niners system.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to thrive outside of this 49ers system. Like, if he was to go anywhere else, I didn't think he was going to do much with Seattle. Sure, they'd be an okay team. Maybe they'd get an extra couple of wins, but you need a good defense along with Jimmy. That's what's been proven so far.
That was the biggest thing. Jimmy wanted to be on a contender, so of course he's going to take the backup job here.
For sure.
This is a better situation as a backup
than any of those other teams.
Seattle.
The Giants, nope.
Yep.
But, we can't rule out, though. We can't. Yesterday we talked about it. I can't 100% rule out a trade come the November 1st deadline. It really wouldn't benefit the Niners, but if
depends where they're at.
But it depends where they're at.
Depends where they're at.
And if another team that's contending is willing to give up some pretty high draft capital, let's just say they're wanting to give up a second rounder, which would be more than the third round compensation you'd get for keeping Jimmy Garoppolo on this team through the year. If they can get higher than that, I wouldn't be shocked if he's moved by the deadline on the 1st.
Well, let's continue this conversation on the other side. I want to get into some Trey Lance sound. Trey Lance is the starting quarterback, and all of a sudden people are making these wild conclusions that, oh man, Trey Lance, it's an indictment on him. He hasn't played well. He hasn't done well in training camp. Blah, blah, blah. What does it mean for his future in San Francisco? We're going to get into that on the other side. Plus, Phil Simms, 2-time Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl MVP. He was lights out in that Super Bowl game against the Denver Broncos. Check that out at the Rose Bowl. He lit them up. We're going to do that at 7:30 with Phil Simms, and we'll get his thoughts on Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, the 49ers, and any surprise cuts. 888-957-9570. Trey Sermon's still on the roster. Trey Sermon, still on the roster. That's coming up, and that will be sponsored by Valley Transportation Authority.
Looking for a fulfilling career with opportunities for job growth? Is paid training, excellent medical and dental benefits, and a pension important to you? Then apply to become a VTA bus operator, providing VTA customers with a great transit experience. Visit VTA.org/point-A and apply.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity Gateway.
Okay, you know those amazing spots only the true San Francisco locals are in on? Like Square Pizza. That place with the square pizzas? Or Mama Hoo-Hoo? The spot for sweet and sour chicken that's anything but so-so. Order up! You know, with the Granch dressing. And all the other spots the real SF locals know without us even saying them. Yeah, they're on DoorDash. San Francisco gets it. DoorDash has it.
$1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title? No problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Whether you're buying a new car or used one, it's a big investment, which is why you should choose Pennzoil Platinum. It helps extend the life of your engine and protect it up to 15 years or 500,000 miles, whichever comes first, guaranteed. That's because Pennzoil's base oil is made from natural gas and 99.5% free from engine clogging impurities. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Enrollment required. Keep your receipts. Other conditions apply. See pennzoil.com/warranty for full details. Find it at Firestone Complete Auto Care.
T-Mobile believes customers deserve to get more without paying more. Everything from entertainment benefits like Netflix on Us to travel benefits to Scam Shield protection, all with taxes and fees included. So the price you see is the price you pay. When you're a T-Mobile customer, you get over $225 in value every month in benefits with our Max Family Plan.
That's like paying for nosebleed seats and getting to sit in the front row.
That's right. At T-Mobile, your family gets over $225 worth of value and benefits with our Max plan each and every month. Plus, with our Price Lock Guarantee, we won't raise your rate plan price for talk, text, and data ever.
That's like paying for a cab and getting a stretch limo.
At T-Mobile, you get value beyond the expected.
Qualifying service required. Value based on included monthly benefits. Sales tax and regulatory fees included in Max's monthly price. Price Lock guarantees rate price of talk, text, and data for new accounts with qualifying service. Exclusions apply. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Pink Floyd's Roger Waters. This is not a drill.
We're doing a show in the round. It's something new. I look forward to the challenge.
Featuring his songs from the golden era of Pink Floyd. Friday and Saturday, September 23rd and 24th, Chase Center in San Francisco. Tickets on sale now at RogerWaters.com.
This is not a drill.
Produced by AEG Presents.
Straight Talk Wireless knows there are plenty of reasons you might need a new phone. But switching to a better wireless provider doesn't have to be one of them. Keep your own phone and save when you switch to any Straight Talk Wireless plan, like our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with unlimited high-speed data and 5 gigs of hotspot, plus nationwide 5G on America's best networks. Keep your own phone. Switch to a better wireless plan. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. Requires a compatible unlocked phone and KYOP kit. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See latest terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Now, local businesses can get closer to every customer in their city with fast, affordable shipping. Introducing USPS Connect Local. You want speed? We deliver same or next day. You want savings? We give you supplies at a flat rate. You want less legwork? We do free pickups. Move your local business forward with the United States Postal Service. Let's connect at USPSConnect.com/local. Specific markets, restrictions apply. Same day or next day delivery expected, but not guaranteed with entry close to final destination.
I love Law & Order because it's the same episode every single time.
John Mulaney is bringing The Lost back to the Bay Area, September 17th at the Concord Pavilion. For your shot at tickets, listen to Willard and Dibbs every morning this week at 10:30.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
This is Trey Lance right now in the car, driving up to Santa Clara. You can't break my soul. You can't break my soul. Oh, it's Trey Lance moving. Jimmy Garoppolo.
I hope Trey Lance has a little more rhythm than that.
He probably does. Trey Lance right now. You can't break his soul. He's still the damn starting quarterback
I just
of the
quit
49ers.
my job. I'm like, Beyonce, you didn't quit a job. You haven't had to quit a job. I was just watching a video of Beyonce on Letterman talking about breaking up with Destiny's Child when she was like 23 or 24 years old.
Dude,
come on, man.
That album slaps, man.
Oh, it's great.
It's a great album.
It's just when I hear that song and she said, I just quit my job. I'm like, no, you didn't. How dare you? Even though she's speaking for the masses.
Yeah.
She's not speaking for Beyonce.
It's a lot. Don't quit a job if you don't have another job.
No.
That's my advice today. Don't do that.
That's all it does is it incentivizes people to quit their jobs. Like, don't quit your job.
No, don't do that. But you can't break Trey Lance's soul.
No, you cannot.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it at all. He's going to be all right. But Peter King joined Damon and Ratto yesterday. We're going to talk to Phil Simms in 10 minutes. We're going to get his thoughts on this. Then we'll take some phone calls. 888-957-9570. That's the Comcast business text line. I see all your texts coming through YouTube and Twitch. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Twitch. Don't forget about the Odyssey app as well. Download that bad boy. All the sports talk, music, podcasts are available completely free. And you can catch every single Warriors game live on the app along with all the music and news the Bay Area needs. Follow your favorite teams, station, radio shows, and podcasts now by downloading the free Odyssey app. Phil Simms again in 10 minutes. former Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl winning quarterback two times. He's going to join us and get his thoughts. And we know Uncle Phil comes on here and brings the heat.
Yep.
Man, how many people have Dante on their cue cards? Well, I have a lot of people on the cue card. I actually need a new pack of cue cards because ever since Jimmy Garoppolo restructured his deal to come back to the 49ers Tuesday, a lot of people are counting Trey Lance out. I'm seeing a lot of people jump off the Trey Lance bandwagon, and I'm still riding with 5.
Do you need a new stack of cue cards because of that, or because you lost the other one and you need to create a new one?
No, I need more. There's a lot of haters out there. There's a lot of Trey haters saying it's an indictment on Trey Lance and Michael Silver. Before we get to Peter King, I'm gonna play this one. Wait, here it is. The reason the 49ers, via the San Francisco Chronicle, are hedging their bets is because they're worried about Trey Lance. For all his promise, he won't be good enough to get their built-to-win now team to its only acceptable destination, with York hoisting the franchise's 6th Lombardi trophy. Come on, man. Here's what Peter King had to say about the way Trey Lance might be feeling at the moment.
If you were to say to me what concerns you most about this, and I don't care how nice and genial and welcoming and, hey, this is going to be great that Trey Lance is saying or he said to Kyle Shanahan or whatever, seriously, how would you feel right now if you were Trey Lance? You know, it's easy to sit here and say, oh, my God, this is going to be great. It's going to be just like last year. How possibly deep down could he feel that way? He's got to feel, to some degree, like they don't really have faith in me and they got to backstop me with the guy who brought us to the playoffs last year.
Interesting. And he followed up with this on Trey Lance.
We're talking human nature. And we're talking about a situation where, if you think about it, they handed you this job early in the offseason. The team is yours. It's all yours. And then after the preseason, they do something that no one thought was possible. And I don't think really they thought was going to be very possible either. They bring the starter back. And again, I understand exactly what you're saying. This is the way the guys should think. This is the way team guys should think and do think, and I get it. All I'm saying is that I would be surprised if Trey Lance doesn't have some feeling of, they doubt me a little bit here.
And if they do, maybe he does. But I think Trey's ready for this. Trey's built for this.
None of us are going to know really what Trey Lance is thinking. None of us are going to know. Only Trey Lance is going to know. He's not going to tell the media. He's not going to tell Kyle Shanahan. He's not going to tell John Lynch. He's not going to tell Jimmy G. Maybe he does. But the question is, does that show on the field? I don't think it's going to show on the field. You know, like how many times have we truly seen that? I'm curious to see what happens in Tennessee. With Tennessee, what happened with Malik Willis and Ryan Tannehill, and Tannehill saying that, look, it's not my job to mentor this dude. There could be something there to read into it, but with this, it doesn't seem like there's anything that Trey Lance, there's no problem that Trey Lance seems to have with Jimmy as the backup. My only question is with Jimmy. I mean, Jimmy's got $14.5 million in incentives. I'm sure that dude is itching to get on the field to be the starting quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy's out there, possibly, thinking, hey, Trey, I mean, if you don't pan out this season, they're going to bring me in and I can make a little extra money.
Jimmy's
when money's
a competitor.
On the line,
Jimmy's a competitor.
For sure.
And I think we're underestimating that. Jimmy is a competitor. Yeah. You can say what you want about him. He is a competitor. All these dudes want to play. Now, they root for each other to have success. That's for sure. These dudes want to play. Like, Jimmy's not on the sideline saying, man, I hope Trey Lance throws 5 picks today. He doesn't want him to go through that. He doesn't. Nobody's rooting for that. Not on that team. Maybe some fans are. Maybe some media members. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But nobody on that team is rooting against each other. With that said, Jimmy wants to play. And Trey Lance is going to have to ball out. He is. And I believe he can ball out.
Trey already getting a dose of the Twitter, social media, hairstylists that are out there. Did you see that during his press conference? The video that was posted?
I'm not going to get into that.
The dude has helmet hair, and everyone's talking about his hair. It's like, welcome to the NFL, Trey Lance. This is what happens when you're speaking. People just have to comment because they're insecure about themselves and just have to insult somebody because it'll make them feel better.
Well, listen, I'm very secure. Right. But there is a thing with haircuts. And, what Trey's rocking right now. We can get away with it because he's Trey Lance. But there's going to be a point in the next 2 years where he's going to have to come home. He's going to have to go bald. It just is what it is.
Oh, my God.
You can't be receipting like that, dog. I'm sorry. You're my guy. You're my quarterback, man. I can't have you looking like that, Trey. Come on, man. I don't know what's going on up top. I don't know what's going on, man. Somebody save him. I got a barber for him. My guy, Pat. Pat, what's up, man? Sacred Heart Cathedral won their first game. Antoine Evans was good. He can hook you up. So, you don't have to, you can be secure. But it is what it is.
I'm saying that's what people...
Craig Mack knows.
That's what people go on Twitter for. That's the only reason that people go on Twitter, so they can insult somebody that's of higher stature than them because it makes them feel better. It's like, well, Trey Lance is the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, but he has bad hair, though, so I'm going to make fun of it. Come on, man. I just welcome to the NFL. That's what it is. We always
make fun of hair.
That's what socially. That's
we make fun of hair all the time. LeBron James was making fun of his hair forever.
Kind of just did it with Lubman at the break.
Yeah, Lubman right now looks like a dude named Bartholomew. What the hell has he got going on?
Barnaby, I guess.
Yeah. Bartholomew's.
Remember when Trey Young had the whole Trey is balding? The whole New York crowd was just chanting at him.
My goodness.
That's what we do. Now, when it comes to my lining, man, I look at it every day like, damn, what's going on these thin edges here, man? The soft spots. It's important. It's important. That's all. Trey's just going to have to come home. It's okay. Come on, man. I'm not going to go in there on Twitter and be like, yo, Trey Lance got a bad haircut, but you're going to have to come home.
He does look a lot better with the headband. The one that they have in all those team pictures with the headband that's kind of pulling it all back. I will say that.
So maybe he has to wait for a second contract because we talk about how much linings cost now. I mean, he ain't got the money to get a haircut.
I mean, haircuts are expensive.
They are
They're very expensive.
They can be worth it, though.
There's nothing better than better.
Tell me your confidence isn't at its peak right after you get a haircut.
I've got tweets saying that, hey, man, you walk out the barbershop, man, you feeling like $1 million.
You really do.
With $5 in the bank account.
You really do.
Don't matter.
You take a look. You go in your car. You take a look in the rearview mirror.
Everything
then
feels better.
Then you go to sleep. The next day you wake up and you're like, oh, yeah, I got a haircut yesterday. And you feel good about it.
Feel real good.
That confidence
through the roof.
For I don't know, maybe a week and a half. And then after that, it's like, oh, man, all right, when do I got to get back?
Right. Trey got to get, we got to hook Trey up. We got to hook Trey up. We got to hook him up.
It's just like we always ask, like, what's your welcome to the NFL moment? Trey Lance is going to be like, my welcome to the NFL moment is when I got up to the podium for the first time and people commented on my hair. For the first time in the 2022 season. He's been up there before.
Yeah, he has. Brock Purdy, will he be at the podium? Ooh. John Lynch confirmed this yesterday.
Brock has earned his way on our roster, so he'll be on the roster as well on the 53.
Larry Krueger somewhere is fist pumping because Brock Purdy's made the number 3 quarterback. However, what was crazy is that if Jimmy Garoppolo didn't sign, and even the biggest Jimmy Garoppolo hater has to admit, Brock Purdy is your number 2 quarterback going into Chicago. Yeah, it's kind of good Jimmy's back. And then let's just keep
it is, yeah.
You could be the biggest Jimmy Garoppolo hater out there. Would you really want Brock Purdy as your number 2 going into Chicago?
Well, I also think the reason that they brought Brock Purdy back, though, was because he was the better of the 2 between him and Nate Sudfeld. I'll say that for Purdy. He was the better of the 2. And who's to say the Niners aren't a little bit skeptical about Jimmy's health and what's going to happen through the season? Like, maybe they think, oh, well, this is going to be a necessity here. Like, if we go to Jimmy Garoppolo, let's just say we have to go to him early out of necessity. Then what if he gets hurt? What are we stuck with here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if Trey gets hurt and Jimmy gets hurt, you're in for a disaster. And I personally don't think that... I mean, we just saw Nate Sudfeld get picked up by the Lions in place of David Blow or whatever it is. And he just had a great game in the preseason. Like, did you see the Hard Knocks? I mean, I don't want to spoil anything.
Because I only watched 20 minutes of it.
Right, but it's like if you watch David Blow... That was the first time I saw this news this morning. I thought, man, they really cut this dude. Kind of ruined the next episode of Hard Knocks. But
there's one more after this, huh?
But point being, they were willing to sign Nate Sudfeld. I think somebody would have signed Brock Purdy. So they wanted to keep him on the roster. I get it. I get it.
Here's what Shanahan said yesterday about, let me know when we get Phil Simms. This is what Shanahan said yesterday about Jimmy dealing with the pressure last year, and he expects with Trey to deal with the same pressure.
Jimmy dealt with that from the drama, as you say, outside of the building. He dealt with that every single game last year because we drafted a young guy. So every time we lost, he heard it. It was from the narrative and everybody, because that's the position. It's the quarterback's fault, or it's whatever. And Jimmy had to deal with that for a long time. I don't think that affected us last year in that case. And I think we persevered through a lot of stuff and just tried to do what was best on the field. And I don't see any difference this year. We feel very strongly given the keys to Trey. We felt that at the end of last year. We were really excited what we thought that could do for our team as a whole, and we're excited about everything he's done and all these opportunities he's gotten throughout this offseason. And I can't wait to get him started on our team in week 1. And having Jimmy there as a backup makes us feel really good, because we have a starting quarterback as a backup. The rest of the league had a chance to get him, and I'm just feel so fortunate that he's still here in that case. And in no way has that hurt our team. It's only helped our team.
That was Kyle Shanahan, of course, talking about the pressure. And with that, let's welcome in Uncle Phil. That's right, our uncle here on the Morning Roast. We love having Phil Simms on the air, 2-time Super Bowl champion, of course, Super Bowl MVP, 2-time Pro Bowler now on Inside the NFL. Of course, you see him on CBS for the pregame shows, and he's got thoughts we already know. So, Phil, good morning. Welcome back to the Morning Roast. We're excited to have you back as football season is about 8 days away. Bills, Rams, that'll kick off the season. Phil, I got to ask you right off the rip. When you saw the Jimmy Garoppolo news that he restructured his contract with the 49ers, what was your initial thoughts when you saw the news?
I was not shocked. Maybe a little surprised, whatever you want to say in that regard. But I think that, sooner or later, you guys have heard all this. I'm sure you've said it 1,000 times. Mm-hmm. When you look at the San Francisco 49ers, no matter what, I looked at them all off season during this preseason as a team that, am I going to pick them to go to the Super Bowl or lose in a championship game or something like that? Because I think the roster's that good. So anytime, and I say this not only about the 49ers, about every team in the league, which I don't think they put enough into the thought process of the backup quarterback. And when you have a good roster and your window of opportunity is there, you got to buy some insurance. And, hey, you can say whatever, Brock Purdy, great career at Iowa State, all these other things, but is he going to be the guy that comes in case something happens that doesn't go well, your quarterback gets hurt, and still take the team and accomplish what you want? And the answer, of course, is no. So when I heard Mr. York talking about we'd love to have Jimmy back, watching the preseason, just seeing that, I never really thought there was a team out there that was going to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. I know every quarterback situation, got to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. All you got to do is look at ESPN. Got to trade, got to get him, got to get him. And, they act like these trades are so, we're going to do it. My point being, I didn't think he would be traded. I couldn't see the team that was going to reach out there for him. And it in the end, it worked out great for the 49ers.
So you weren't shocked. We were all shocked because we heard all offseason, hey, we're looking for a trade partner. And I agree with you, Phil. Once he had the surgery March 8th, about a month and a half after the season, I thought there's no way a team's going to trade for him when you know he can't throw a football until late June, maybe early July. How are you going to take a chance like that with a new playbook, a new team? So I didn't think he was going to get traded either, but I am shocked that he didn't get cut or released with the way the 49ers, their dialogue all off season, Phil. So I'm a little surprised that you're not surprised that he is back. But I agree with the Brock Purdy stuff. You can't walk into week 1 with him as your number 2.
Of course, my opinion changed as the off season went along, and we got into training camp and preseason football. And there's so many things there. Everybody acts like, if Jimmy Garoppolo is traded to Cleveland, he'll be ready to start next week. Let's give it a little credit here about pro football. It's a little harder than that. Even for quarterbacks to go in, learn systems, get adapted to all the players and everything else, that's tough. So, but again, when I heard the fact that as the preseason after week 1, whatever, I just started thinking. Then I started feeling different and hearing different about what the 49ers. Once Mr. York said, we would love to have him back, I went, this is the first little domino to fall that made me think, okay, they are thinking about bringing back Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't like nicknames a lot of times. So
how do you like the Uncle Phil
Jimmy Garoppolo
nickname?
Deserves it. He went to a Super Bowl. He went to a championship game. And he can have a nickname because that's pretty good accomplishments right there.
Yeah, one of the talking points, Phil, was now with the addition of Jimmy that this could cause some issues in the locker room. And I want to ask you, is there any truth to that, or is that just something that the media and maybe certain segments of the fan base, maybe that's just a narrative they try to create that really just isn't reality?
No, that narrative is real. I lived it. It is. Anytime there's any question about your quarterback, players are going to talk about it, and they're going to have opinions, and they're going to have, he's my favorite, I want this one, things like that. So that talk will be in the locker room. You can't avoid it. And, for Trey Lance, it's not the greatest scenario going into this season for him. Of course it's not. But if he's tough, which he is, and, you got to be mentally really tough and just go. And don't worry about it. Don't worry, he's back there behind me if I don't play well. Well, if you have those thoughts at all, trust me, as a quarterback, then you have no chance. But I don't know Trey Lance, but I know he's plays hard. He must love football because he's in great shape. He works hard at it, all those things. So the opportunity, you look at the schedule, there's a great opportunity, I think, for him to get off to a really good start, to quiet everything down. And we won't talk about Jimmy Garoppolo, of course, until the 49ers lose or Trey Lance doesn't play the way we want him to.
Right.
Things like that. Of course, you guys know that.
Oh, no doubt about that. Phil Simms on the Morning Roast right now. Of course, two-time Super Bowl winner inside the NFL. It's NFL on CBS. Phil Simms knows all. He does it all. He's been in this game. So take us through the controversy that you went through, because you were in New York City, and we know how that media market is. It is rabid. You're playing under Bill Parcells. There's probably a lot of friction there. Take us through. How did you navigate through the adversity of a quarterback controversy?
Well, the controversy really kind of came through. The big one for me was after we won the Super Bowl, and I was hurt for it, and Jeff Hostetler won. So the following, that off season, all during training camp, everything, that's all that was talked about. And I heard players, my teammates talking about it in the locker room, and, it just wasn't a great situation. And, look, I'll be honest, I didn't make it a great situation sometimes either, because, you're combative, you want the job, all these other things, and can't read the paper. And, of course, at training camp, you got to listen to the fans, too, and how they react to you. And sometimes you can't let that bother you either, because, I would just say overall the opinion was everybody wanted Jeff Hostetler because we just won the Super Bowl.
Right.
And so that situation, but I knew the players were talking about it. I heard coaches talking about it. Guys would say things to me. I just go, oh, wow, you guys are talking about this at night? And that's when it does affect the football team, and it's going to be talked about. There's nothing you can do about that.
Well, this is what I worry about, because I do want to ask you about Trey's mechanics and how he looked in the preseason and what you saw, because I know you break down all the film. But that's the one thing that I'm interested in, because the Deebo Samuels, the Brandon Ayuks, the George Kittles, the Trent Williams, Kyle Juszczyk's, Fred Warner's, Nick Bosa's, they won a lot of big games with Jimmy Garoppolo. And I just worry that if the Niners do get off to a slow start, and I think Trey Lance is going to be a fantastic quarterback. I'm high on Trey Lance, Phil. We had the conversation last year where I thought he should have started week 1, and you tried to check me and say he wasn't ready yet. But I do wonder if he gets off to a slow start, that the Deebo Samuels of the world are going to be like, you know what? We won a lot of big games with Jimmy Garoppolo. And that chatter starts to happen. I worry about the young man in Trey Lance there. That could break anybody.
Well, look, not to go against you, but that talk, of course, is going to be there. And there's nothing you can do about it, really. And if this is, as you say, shatters his confidence, it does whatever you want to talk, it's really going to, then he's not the man.
Yeah.
Listen, almost every quarterback is going to go through some unbelievably tough times. I mean, everybody's not going to live the charmed life of Patrick Mahomes with great talent, great coaching, players around him, and all that. So there's always going to be, tension, conflict, whatever. And you got to handle that. And is it easy? No, it's not. And but I just, of course, you guys know better than me. I watch all the San Francisco 49er games, preseason, regular season, but I don't watch it as intently probably as you, because this is what you're talking about all the time.
Right.
But we know this for sure, right? We haven't even seen the Trey Lance game plan. And we are going to see it, next week in Chicago, and we're going to see it in Seattle, and then, we'll have an idea what they really want to do, willing to do, and all the new plays they have installed that they haven't shown anybody yet, that's going to come out. And I think it's going to give Trey Lance a great opportunity to get off to a good start and quiet everybody down.
What did you see from Trey Lance this preseason, Phil, as you were breaking down the film? I know he had a limited amount of possessions to work with, but what did you see from Trey this preseason?
Sometimes preseason, playing in some that where it went well, not well, but whatever. You're not game planning, maybe just a little bit. But I saw so many, I'll just say this real quick, so many quarterbacks around the league, backups and third stringers came into games, and, I said, God, are these teams game planning for these preseason games? Because these quarterbacks, this is maybe one of the best off seasons or preseasons I've ever watched, where quarterbacks just had outstanding games and moments and things like that. But just to go to Trey Lance, look, is he a naturally gifted passer of the football? No, he is not. But I've always said this and believe it. And Jalen Hurts, you name guys, when you stay in the NFL, every year you got to be a better passer of the football. Now, Trey Lance can throw. We know that. He's got a strong arm and all that. But he's got to control it more. And in the NFL, for quarterbacks, you got to be dead-eye accurate on all those short throws to make easy catches so they can get extra yards and things like that. And his throwing was, I would say, not, if I'm just going to judge, I'm being fair, I'm being honest, it was not good during the preseason. It just wasn't good enough. Too many balls that got away from him a little bit, off target, not perfect spirals, things like that. And the only thing that's going to correct that is practice and time on the field to get him more comfortable in an offense that's going to be more relying on the pass than he had at North Dakota State. So that's just some thoughts. But, you didn't draft him at the third pick of the draft because you thought he was just a great passer of the football. You drafted him for so many other reasons, too. Big, physical, can run, strong arm, leader of men, smart, all that. Those are things that you kind of look for, too. So it'll be interesting to see how he handles this whole situation. I believe he'll get off to a really good start, and it'll quiet everybody down.
I hope so, Phil. Phil Simms on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game, two-time Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP, of course, inside the NFL, and, of course, NFL on CBS every single Sunday and sometimes Saturday as well. Phil Simms knows quarterbacks as well as anybody out there. So how do you feel the Niners handled the Jimmy Garoppolo situation? Because a lot of people are discussing that out here, Phil. The way they navigated, it feels like, and I'll say this, I'm 39 years old. I remember when the Giants, when you were on the sidelines and you guys beat the Niners at Candlestick Park. I remember the 7-3 game on Monday Night Football. This situation, to me, was one of the more bizarre situations I've ever seen, with Jimmy Garoppolo throwing on the side field, Niners basically saying, hey, we may trade this guy. How do you think the organization handled this situation?
Well, it's easy. We're all geniuses after the fact, of course, and they didn't handle it well. I just can't imagine that if I was a young starting quarterback and the job is yours and all this other stuff, but we got this guy over here throwing that's done all this good stuff in the NFL, won a lot of games for us. He's just going to work out. It's just strange, and it had to be uncomfortable at times. But here's what we all know why they did this. Because they were trying to create a great market for him out there, and I'm sure, and I maybe during the offseason thought, well, sooner or later, maybe Jimmy Garoppolo will get traded to a team and give him a chance to be the starter and a franchise guy once again somewhere else. But as time went on, of course, that started to change. And then I start really looking at the other teams. Is there a sense of urgency to bring him in here? I never really saw that with any teams, and none. Right. Not Seattle, not Cleveland. Who else was out there?
Carolina, Washington, but Washington made the move for Carson Wentz once they knew Jimmy Garoppolo was hurt and wasn't throwing the football until late June, early July.
Yeah, so that Carolina, I always knew or thought that Baker Mayfield was the guy they wanted to try to get a hold of. They finally did. They just waited it out and got him at what they wanted to pay for him and not what the Cleveland Browns wanted. So it worked out for, I think, both teams when you talk about Baker Mayfield.
Phil, Trey is going to have a very short lease among the fan base. I mean, if he has one bad game against Chicago, then people are already going to be calling for Jimmy Garoppolo. But with Jimmy waiting there as a backup quarterback and Kyle Shanahan saying, look, I got 2 starting quarterbacks on my roster, where's the disadvantage in that? How long of a leash do you think the team will give Trey Lance to perform this season before they think about going to Jimmy G?
Well, listen, I'd say to Trey Lance, welcome to the NFL, big man. Here we go, and this is part of it. And I know everybody and you guys talk about it. It's easy to say, kind of hard to do. Don't listen to the radio. Don't read the paper. Hell, don't even go to the supermarket. Have somebody else go for you because you don't want to hear it. It's whatever's out there. But I think he'll have time to establish himself. Surely they're not going to judge this. And look, the fans, of course, are going to judge it. By the end of the first quarter of the Chicago Bear game, we're going to know the answer. Yeah. I can already tell.
Every throw, Phil. Every
throw. Oh, my God, he's going to be dissected. I just love preseason football. Oh, in practice today, he was 6'11", but he threw an interception. The offense just doesn't look. Oh, my God, shut up. Shut up. I love people to go to one practice and, well, their season's over. Practice terrible today. Oh.
Let me ask you something about this because I left training camp. I went on vacation. And I was watching from afar all the reports and everything to kind of stay afloat with the 49ers. And when did it jump the shark? Because I've never seen a preseason like this where everybody, oh my gosh, this guy looked bad in the preseason. Oh, they're going to stink. Oh, this throw. Like, it's the preseason. How vanilla is the preseason when you play? Like, Jerry Rice was on the other day. He said, hey, we took the preseason seriously. However, we still installed vanilla game plans. I think it's all jumped the shark. Practice stats. Preseason
oh my
football.
God! Practice stats. Just listen. Just get the newspaper, roll it up, and hit me in the back of the head. Okay. My God, these practice stats. Listen. That's what we've turned into. And I'm not a big numbers guy. I don't watch them that much. I do it all by feel. He throws this. He's great under pressure. Well, you're great under pressure when you're a really good thrower and you have good receivers who can beat the coverage or whatever. Yeah, that makes you really good under pressure, things like that. All this stuff I hear, the numbers, but that's what we've turned it into, strictly that. Not any feel for really how you played and what went on and why the numbers are what they are. So, drives me crazy a little bit, but again, that's what we live in. You turn the TV on right now, and any station, sports station, and somebody's going to go, well, on third down and 5 and less, he's the best quarterback in the NFL. I don't care. I just don't care. So I always say this, too. When I judge them coming out of college, I'm not right all the time.
Right.
And, of course, I'm wrong a lot. But I never know and don't care what the team's record is. I don't know the quarterback's numbers. All of his quarterback rating, his QBR, turn to Fox if you want to hear the whatever about all the his QBR in the fourth quarter is just not good. Whatever. I don't care. I judge the guy. I don't care who the head coach is. I'm not drafting the coach or the players of the system. I'm just a player.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey,
that way it doesn't cloud my mind. I'm surely, and especially for college players. I mean, I understand you give it a glance, but I'm sure not going to judge it off of numbers in college. My God.
Yeah.
There's such a discrepancy in talent in a lot of games. It's not like the NFL where every week your butt can lose if you go out there and don't play well. So
no doubt.
That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, Phil Simms on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. Look, let me ask you this because you've been in that situation with hospital.
Wait, I don't mean to interrupt you, but man, my heart's beating fast. I'm getting riled up here.
Hey, Phil, that's what happens every time you come on here. You need to join us every single week.
Wait, what was it? Let's see. Was it? Let's see. When we were out there, when y'all were yelling at me about the draft.
Mac Jones, Trey Lance.
That was a great draft for me because I was down in Miami or went on the radio station down there. And they kind of knew where I was going. And I said, I would take Justin Herbert, not even a question. In fact, I said, I would take him at the first pick of the draft. I would have taken him over Joe Burrow. It's really, really close when I did it. And so I get off the radio. So I called the host, Joe Rose. The next day, I said, Joe, how'd it go? He goes, oh, Phil, it was awesome. I said, oh, good. I'm glad it went well. And I said, what were the phone calls like? He says, they crushed you.
well,
and I said, that's why I went on, because I knew they would, and it'd make good radio, and I gave my opinions, and of course, the fans just crushed me.
Let me give this comment to you, Phil, before we ask you another question. Our boy Tyler Miller, he's one of our day one roasters. He's basically saying Phil Simms is a nerd. He doesn't like what you're saying right now, so you're pissing off Tyler Miller right now.
Who's a nerd?
You are. He's calling you a nerd.
Oh, Tyler, who in the hell are you? Calling me a nerd. I'll tell you what, how old are you, Tyler?
He's probably about 30. He's a big diehard Niner fan, man. That's like what you said. Doesn't agree with your opinion. So just give you some insight on what's going on our show with our roasters, because we're live on Twitch and YouTube. So next time, Phil, we do this, we got to get you via Zoom on YouTube and Twitch so we can all see your face. Yeah. We can
you know what? I got to tell you, listen, nothing you can say will upset me, but Tyler calling me a nerd, I'm going to tell you. Tyler, just for you saying that tells me that you are.
Oh, boy.
You got me?
Oh, you gotcha.
He listen, for anybody to call me a nerd, he must be a nerd. I don't know.
let me ask you this, Phil. Let me ask you this. Look, Jimmy Garoppolo's going to be holding the clipboard, right? We know that.
Right.
So, and I've been in locker room dynamics before, like just not on the pro level or even the college. So I'm not going to go there. But, how can you root for the guy in front of you when he is essentially taking your job?
Well, that's the same. We've talked about Trey Lance so much and everything how he's going to handle it mentally and everything. And the same goes for Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he knows the situation. I think he'll be extremely relaxed because he knows most likely the only thing he can be is the star that comes in and rescues the team. But otherwise, you try to take a different approach. And this, people say this all the time, but I really mean it about him. The situation he is in is really so good for him right now that he can really support, Trey Lance. And I don't know Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know if I've ever talked to him. But the fact that I think he's just that kind of guy that will be somebody that Trey Lance can talk to, and it will help him and say little things that only maybe quarterbacks know about how to play, and it can help Trey Lance out.
Phil, just hypothetically here, let's just say whether, Trey Lance plays poorly or possibly gets hurt and Jimmy Garoppolo has to come in. I mean, doesn't the lack of having a training camp and an offseason to work with his players, having the shoulder surgery, not being able to throw really until late July, I mean, isn't that going to hamper him into the regular season? Or if he does end up playing, should we expect the same Jimmy after all of that?
Well, there might be a little adjustment for him, but he'll catch on pretty quick because he has great experience. And he's had success on the field and all that, so that gives you confidence. And sometimes, you maybe not even ready physically, but you're so confident mentally and all this other stuff that, you're like, hey, I can't play bad.
Right.
You can be that way sometimes. I didn't feel that way very often, but every once in a while, like, man, I feel pretty good. This is going to work out well tonight. But it will take a little bit for him, but again, he's not going to get the job right away. That's for sure, we know. Yeah. And I think two things would have to happen for Trey Lance to be taken out. Forget the injury part, but they're going to have to lose, and he's going to have to play bad. You're going to need both of those, I think, scenarios before they decide we got to make that switch. Because I think it'll take a lot for them to make a switch, but the one thing they've done, at least they gave themselves some insurance in case there's an injury to Trey Lance somewhere down the line.
All right, quick two-part, couple questions here before we let you go, Phil. We do appreciate the time, man. You're always fascinating.
Well, I figured, I got to even this show out, so you had to get a nerd on the line. So here I am. Because you guys, everybody out there is so cool.
No, man, you got to come out here, hang out with us out here in California, man. You got jaded out there in New York City, man. They beat you over the head, Phil. You can get some love out here on the West Coast. But look, I got a quick question about Nick Bosa, but first I'm going to ask you about Brian Greasy, the quarterback coach. I know you're into it. I always see this clip, man, when you're asking about Bruce Arians, the quarterback coach, when he was in Indianapolis. You're like, who's this quarterback coach? So what's your thoughts on Brian Greasy taking the job? Because that kind of came out of nowhere, where he's now coaching the quarterbacks straight out of the booth. What's your thoughts on Brian Greasy?
Well, I think it's great. I really do. I mean, listen, my wife she's died down a little bit in the last, about a month ago. She goes, I'm still kind of upset you never coached. And I just said, wow, really? So I would have been a head coach. I feel confident sooner or later. And I said I'd have been fired about 3 times, and I would be even angrier than I am now. And so coaching it's a really tough world or whatever. But I love it when ex-players go in there. Quarterbacks like Brian, he's telling those quarterbacks and showing them things that they've never heard before. So because he played the position, great experience, success, all that, and it is good to have somebody in the room that's played the position that will understand what you're going through, physically, mentally, everything like that. So I'm sure it's going well, and I would think Brian is, man, if you love football, when you start you have to coach, and you just focus on that one thing, it's a tremendous job, and I know he'll do a great job out there in San Francisco.
All right, last one for you, Phil, and we got to run here, but we appreciate the time. You played with Lawrence Taylor. You play with Carl Banks, play with Carson. You play with some great players, Pepper Johnson. Who does Nick Bosa remind you of? Because he's looking like a generational talent right now.
Oh, my God. Well, I guess I would have to say he reminds me a little bit of Lawrence Taylor because he's so explosive and so fast around the corner. And, you always hear this saying about great rushers, they can bend. I mean, he can put his shoulder on the ground and still run full speed. That was what made Lawrence. Lawrence was not a workout king like Bosa is, that's for sure, but he was such an unbelievable athlete. He could play any sport, great basketball player, picked up golf, 2 handicapper, things like that. But Lawrence just could twist his body and run full speed no matter where it was, and that Nick Bosa has a little of that in him, and that's what you always hear it in the draft. Oh, he's a bender, this kind of stuff, but it really is true, and it's really valuable. And man, quarterbacks, thank God they changed a lot of rules and all that, because if they didn't, I know it's a quarterback-driven league and they get a lot of stuff, but if they didn't make these rules, the Nick Bosa's of the world, we'd be knocking these guys out every week. And the NFL doesn't want that. So
wow, Phil, we're gonna do this.
You got to protect them,
no doubt. We got to do this again very, very soon. Week 1's coming up. We got the Bills and Rams next Thursday night, and of course the Niners traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears at Soldier Field. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Legend.
It's going to be a lot of fun here, Phil. We always appreciate the time, your insight, and everything. And hey, look, man, if you're a nerd, it's okay. Nerds are cool.
Well, listen, when I get out there, you got to introduce me to Tyler. I want to see him.
Oh yeah, he comes by. He comes by. Oh yeah, he'll come by too.
Once I meet Tyler and he's 6'4", rocked up, and says, "What do you want?" And I go, "Nothing. Just good to meet you."
Well, you might be surprised. Tyler Miller's our guy, but I don't think he's 6'4". Phil, we'll talk soon, brother.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have a good day.
No problem. Phil Simms. We'll react to that. Oh, we got Rob Guerrera coming up right after 8 o'clock, so we're going to do that and react to Phil Simms. A lot of good stuff there. 888-957-9570. Your text coming up and your phone calls as well. But first, the injury report.
It's time for the injury report.
That really hurt.
Brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
All right, very quickly here, John Shea, the SF Chronicle, the Shea Hay Kid reporting that Joey Bart will go on the 7-day concussion injured list, which is unfortunate for him after taking a foul ball off his face mask during Monday night's Giants loss to the Padres. Meanwhile, Brandon Bell got a second opinion on his right knee and is expected to decide soon whether or not he'll undergo surgery to end this season. Giants season is basically over. They're just playing out the part in the month of September when the calendar flips tomorrow. Their injury report brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. What's coming up on the game? Sponsored by Fremont Bank, full service banking, no compromises. Rob Guerrera, Niners Nation. He's got thoughts on Jimmy G. That's coming up on The Roast.
Breathe new life into life at home with IKEA Festival. 10 topics, one purpose. To get more out of the homes we love. What are you passionate about? Art? Dance? Music? Food? Fur babies? Get inspired, create, and share with us. With celebrations, giveaways, IKEA family offers, and live streams with expert advice. It's all happening at IKEA Festival. Join us from August 26th through September 10th online or at your local IKEA store. Learn more at IKEA-USA.com.
Are you ready for your palm reading, my dear?
Yeah, let's do this.
I sense that you crave something.
More reliable.
Right. You know you deserve better and want out of a relationship.
Yes, with my big name wireless carrier.
Your who now?
My big name wireless carrier.
That's why I switched to Xfinity Mobile. Now I get unlimited with 5G for $30 per month on the most reliable 5G network.
Let's talk about your aura. It's so...
And get this. They can even save you hundreds a year on your wireless bill over T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon.
Wow, that's actually really impressive.
Yep, but you already knew that, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I definitely saw this coming.
Start seeing savings today. Switch to the fastest mobile service, Xfinity Mobile. Now with the best price on 2 lines of unlimited, just $30 a line per month. Switch today. Xfinity Internet required. Price comparison for 2 unlimited lines under available 5G pricing plans of top 3 carriers. Taxes and fees extra. Reduced speeds up to 20 gigabytes of usage per line. Most reliable based on root metrics. US report. Comcast analysis of mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data from Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Q2 2022.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? Join the United States Postal Service and apply for roles nationwide. Serve your community with pride and receive benefits including competitive pay and opportunities for advancement. Whether you are looking for full-time, part-time, or seasonal positions, we have options that may be perfect for you. The United States Postal Service is an equal opportunity employer. Apply now at USPS.com/careers.
Golfers, tee it up this year at the Golf Mart for the hottest new arrivals from Callaway. Featuring the new Rogue ST drivers, Callaway's most stable driver ever, with tungsten speed cartridge, jailbreak speed frame, and AI flash face. Engineered for max speed and forgiveness. 4 different models to fit every golfer's needs. Think speed, go Rogue. Swing by the Golf Mart and get custom fit for the new Rogue ST drivers today. The Golf Mart, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking Account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Sides and totals are obviously awesome, but how can you not love betting on props?
Nick Costos, co-host of You Better You Bet, 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern on the BetQL network.
I love it because it's like playing fantasy sports, except you're betting on the game. Which player is going to have a lot of success in the game? I think prop bets are absolutely tremendous and a different way of thinking about handicapping and betting on a sporting event.
All the insight you need to bet smarter is at BetQL.com. And listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costos and Ken Barkley, streaming weekdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern on Odyssey.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
When people have a craving to explore new and traditional Asian cuisines, they head to P.F. Chang's, where scratch-made dishes come from the 2,000-year-old tradition of wok cooking. P.F. Chang's wanted to explore new possibilities for their website. They turned to AmericanEagle.com. AmericanEagle.com re-architected P.F. Chang's website, integrating multiple third-party systems to create a unified digital experience. The results? Improved page speed and performance, personalized content based on users' location, intuitive online ordering, an increase in organic search visibility, and a 40% increase in new users. For scratch-made Asian cuisine, visit your local P.F. Chang's or go to pfchangs.com for website design, development, digital marketing, and hosting that produce efficiency, revenue, and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. P.F. Chang's and AmericanEagle.com. Another example of the best businesses in the world, turning to the best in the business for websites. Go to AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMC-FM at HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's time to wake up with a nice cup of Morning Roast.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring Dante Hill and Joe Shasky.
Well, I'm about that action, boss.
Take him out! This is the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, baby, what a fun morning. Welcome back to the Morning Roast. Phil Simms just joined us. That was some fun stuff with Uncle Phil. Phil Simms, two-time Super Bowl winner. In a few minutes, Rob Guerrera. They call him Stats on Fire. Stats on Fire. Niners Nation podcast host for SB Nation, NFL, and Niners Nation. He's got thoughts on Jimmy Garoppolo as we continue to keep this moving here. But there's a lot there to take away from Phil. Nice guy. And by the way, good morning, everybody on YouTube, Twitch. Log on to Twitch. Log on to YouTube. Like us, love us, do what you got to do. We see y'all on Twitch and YouTube, of course. Comments are firing away. Comcast Business Text Line and everybody out there getting to work, getting off your graveyard shift. What is happening? Got Craig Mack on the board. We got Lubman looking like a dude named Bartholomew. Yeah, Bartholomew.
You got to have Bartholomew in there, not
Bartholomew. He looks real dapper there with his Miami Hurricanes polo. He's still freaking out over the Giants. He's the only guy in the Bay Area right now, who cares about the damn Giants. They lost 6 in a row. That's the Giants mention, last mention of the show. Giants lost 6 in a row. They are cooked. And, of course, we got nice guys.
I'll just say this about for Giants fans. Go look up the grand slam that Marco Luciano hit last night for the Eugene Emeralds, all right? And try not to get excited. That's all I got on the Giants.
Get my Stephen A. on here saying, hey, nice guy, I'm here to tell you right now. We don't care. We don't care.
I thought you were going to tell me the Giants are going to go back to the playoffs.
We don't care about Luciano.
Back to back.
We don't care about the Giants. We do not care.
Can I just say something about Phil Simms though? Because that interview was awesome. Phil Simms is always great whenever he comes on. If you see that Phil Simms is going to come on to the Morning Roast, that's appointment listening every single time.
No doubt.
But I did find it fascinating when we asked about Jimmy Garoppolo. How's he going to be feeling? You know, we haven't really seen this version of Jimmy Garoppolo with the 49ers. And by that, I mean the backup quarterback version. Like the backup quarterback version of Jimmy Garoppolo over there in New England. Well, you got two teammates in Martellus Bennett and also Julian Edelman. Right. Martellus Bennett instigating it, calling Jimmy the B word for how he handled a certain situation.
Yeah.
I believe, I forgot, it was 2014, I think?
No. It was a Thursday night football game.
In 2015,
against
maybe?
the Buffalo Bills. Maybe 2015.
I think it was 2015.
Yeah, 2015, the season before he got traded.
But the point is, we haven't seen a version of that Jimmy Garoppolo with the 49ers. Since he's been here, it's been his team. He's been the starter. And now he's got another guy. Like, is it going to be, kumbaya within the locker room for Jimmy G? Or is there going to be a point where Jimmy G is like, man, all right, I got to flex a little bit. Like, I've taken this team to the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl. Like, I got to, like, this is my time now. You know what I mean? I wonder if we're going to see a different version.
No doubt. I wonder, too. By the way, 707 Comcast Business Text Line. Our guy, Posy in P-Town, listening all the way in Bora Bora.
Damn.
That's some dedication.
Posse's a P1. I think I've met Posse before.
Yeah, Posy in P-Town out there on the Odyssey app. And don't forget to download the Odyssey app. We got everything, man. We got Warrior games, live Warrior games. You got sports, you got music, you got a little bit of everything. Download the free Odyssey app. It truly is a great app. And look, man, follow your favorite team, station, radio shows, and podcasts now by downloading that free Odyssey app.
Hey, man, in a few months, you know I'm on that Odyssey app with the Christmas playlist. You know what's up with the Christmas playlist, man. I was playing them all last year. Fire Christmas playlists on the Odyssey app.
Again, don't fire up the Christmas playlist until after Halloween.
I'm not saying I'm doing it now. I'm not saying I'm doing it.
You got to be a real nerd to start celebrating Christmas in September. Christmas lights do not go up in September. They don't go up in August. They go up after. Actually, you know what? It should be after Thanksgiving.
I was about to say, you're saying after Halloween.
My bad.
Can't do that.
No. After Thanksgiving. We had this whole rant last year about that. After Thanksgiving, you start celebrating Christmas.
Right.
Because Thanksgiving, to me, is the best holiday out there.
Agreed.
All the food, all the football. You get a little hoops, get a little shopping, Black Friday, all that stuff. Christmas, to me, is just like, oh, man, just get this over with.
Yeah. I mean, I'm English, so, we don't really celebrate Thanksgiving over there in England. So Christmas means a little more to the family. So it's interesting over there. We have Thanksgiving, then Christmas. Not much time separated in between the two. But over there, all they got is Christmas. So it's like when Christmas happens, that's a big time of the year. And then Guy Fawkes Day.
What the hell is Guy Fawkes Day?
I don't even know, but it's Guy, Fawkes.
I don't even want to know.
Why?
That was one.
You don't want to learn about different cultures?
Who's our guy who always comes at me about celebrating Christmas early?
Casey and Marin.
Shout out to Casey and Marin.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
That was a fun little standoff you guys had last year.
Yeah, no doubt. He sent some donuts or something like that. But one of the big takeaways.
Yeah, what was your takeaway from Phil?
So there was a couple things. One about Trey Lance, how he shouldn't be faced with having Jimmy G back in the locker room. Phil basically said, if this shatters his confidence, then he's not the man. There's always going to be tension, and there's always going to be conflict at the quarterback spot in the NFL. That was important because I agree with that. If Trey, that's why I wanted Trey to compete with Jimmy in training camp. But I get the business side of it because if something happens to Trey and, Shanahan decides, you know what, we're going to stick to Jimmy. Then you have to pay him the $24.2 million. So this way, he comes in later. He still knows the playbook. I like this way. But he's right. If it shatters his confidence and he can't rise above this, Trey Lance that is, then he may not be the guy for the 49ers long term. He may not. So that was my big takeaway there. And then the narrative being real about Jimmy being back in the locker room and how it would affect the 49ers. Because the narrative is real. I lived it. That talk will be in the locker room. You can't avoid it. For Trey Lance, it is not the greatest scenario.
I gave you the worst case scenario yesterday, and I don't know if it's going to come true, but the worst case scenario would be, well, Deebo Samuel, your $25 million a year man, he's not getting the football as much as he wants to. He knows with Jimmy under center that he's going to be getting the football. Trey Lance and Brandon Ayuk, it seems like the chemistry's there. It feels like Brandon Ayuk is poised for a fantastic season this year. If Brandon Ayuk's going off, getting all the targets, Deebo Samuel's not, doesn't seem like they're in sync. Watch them clash in the locker room. Deebo watch Jimmy, Ayuk watch Trey, and then, that's what it could turn into.
I would have totally disagree with you.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just hypothetically speaking here.
But, talking to multiple people with the 49ers, and we saw how it all played out with Deebo in the offseason. He showed a lot of immaturity. Social media stuff, the throat slashing like, I'm not coming back to the Niners. All that nonsense. He showed some diva tendencies. As we used to say on Bonte Steiny.
Diva tendencies.
DTs.
I remember that.
He showed a lot of that. A lot of that. And there's no doubt in my mind, if he don't get the touches this year that he did last year, Deebo has it in him to throw a little hissy fit here and there. So that's something I'm going to be watching for. But let's get Rob Guerrero, Stats on Fire, Niners Nation. And apparently, and I've seen some of the tweets, I've heard some of the clips, he's not too thrilled about Jimmy Garoppolo being back. So, Rob, good morning. Welcome to the roast, man. Long-time follower. Been watching your work for a long, long time. You do a lot of great stuff. Why are you not happy about Jimmy Garoppolo being back with the 49ers?
Good morning. Thanks for having me, guys. Well, I'm not happy about it because this team, every opportunity, they just chop the legs out from underneath Trey Lance every single time. Everything that they are saying about Trey Lance is be patient. He's going to have growing pains. It's going to take time. We're going to lean on the run game and the defense. Yet everything that they are doing with Trey Lance says, you better not struggle. You better not have any growing pains, because if you do, we've got your replacement that we brought back from the dead, basically, to come in and back you up now and look over your shoulder. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not like a lot of these other guys who started as rookies last year, like Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. They didn't exactly have veteran starters just waiting as backups. But how long of a leash do you think that the team is going to give Trey Lance? Because we're even seeing something that, even after week one, if he struggles, the team could be thinking about Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, that's the thing, right? However long it was, it just got shorter by re-signing Jimmy Garoppolo. It has to be. And the 49ers can try and talk this down and say what a great thing this is all they want. But the truth is in what they do. And what they are doing is they're trying to hedge their bet. They have this Super Bowl roster, and so they don't want to seem willing to go through the bumps in the road that you're going to go through when you draft a quarterback as inexperienced as Trey Lance. That's why this whole thing doesn't make any sense. If you want to say, we can't afford to have growing pains because we have a chance to win now, that's fine. But then why did you draft the most developmental quarterback in the entire draft? So what is the plan here? They never seem to have a plan.
Not when it comes to the quarterback position. I think they have a plan, Rob. And we're talking to Rob Guerrero, Niners Nation, of course, Stats on Fire on Twitter. I do, but the quarterback position, I'm with you here where under Lynch and Shanahan, the quarterback spot has been mismanaged. Starting with the 2017 NFL draft when they passed up Watson and Mahomes, right? They don't even scout them. Then they draft C.J. Beathard in the third round. And then, oh, snap, he's not any good. Brian Hoyer's not any good. Let's pivot and trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. But the whole point of not drafting Watson or Mahomes was because we're waiting on Kirk Cousins. It all doesn't make sense at all. But let me play devil's advocate here. I do think this is a good insurance plan because I looked at the backup spots. Brock Purdy, Nate Sudfeld, I'm not sold on. Sudfeld's going to Detroit. Purdy's now the number 3 quarterback, which is shocking to me. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not impressed with him. But that's why I think Jimmy Garoppolo is back, and that's why I don't think it's necessarily a bad move to have number 10 back on the sidelines.
From a purely football standpoint, I agree the quarterback room is stronger. But look, you've had Phil Simms talk about it. Every former player, Kurt Warner was talking about it with Rich Eisen. The locker room is going to question why they are going with this young, inexperienced kid if they struggle early in the season because of all the credibility that Garoppolo has built up with that team. They're going to be like, what are we doing messing around with Trey Lance when we've got a guy that we know we've won with, just sitting here, basically. And the irony of all ironies in this whole thing is that if Trey Lance comes out and plays like Jimmy Garoppolo has played with the Niners, he's going to get replaced by Jimmy Garoppolo. It's the most absurd scenario I can possibly imagine. Like, do people forget this team did not gain a single positive yard the last 12 minutes of the NFC Championship game? That's not an exaggeration. Like, that happened. That was real life.
Yeah.
So, but the team is just continuing to stick with Jimmy Garoppolo, and I don't know why. You can't put all your chips in the middle of the table.
Rob, especially after the signs have told us that they don't really trust Jimmy Garoppolo, which is mind-boggling to me. Maybe they do trust Jimmy, but I go back to Super Bowl 54 when they don't call a timeout to run a 2-minute drill, and they let all the clock run, and there's the image of John Lynch in the suite saying, timeout, timeout, timeout. And then on the flip side, with a minute 49 left, he said, oh, well, let's throw the ball 4 straight times with 3 timeouts with the ball at midfield. So the signs have told us that they haven't trusted Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, he's back. That's the most mind-boggling thing to me.
That's the part of this that doesn't make any sense, is that you can see the lack of trust there. 3rd and 7 against the Packers, when you're like, hey, if we don't get a first down, this field goal could be really sketchy here. It's freezing cold. It's snowing. 3rd and 7, what other team in the league hands the ball off? And thank God the human get-out-of-jail-free card, Deebo Samuel, ran the ball for a first down because he's incredible. But, like, that just shows the lack of trust with Jimmy G, so they can say that they're all in on Trey Lance. But it is clear that there is something that they have not seen from him, because you don't do this. You don't risk a potential split locker room if all you want is a good backup quarterback. It's clear that they have something about Trey Lance that they don't like. And they can say all they want, but the proof is in what they do.
Rob, Jimmy took the pay cut. $6.5 million is the base salary of what he'll be making. Do you think that with the addition of Brock Purdy to this 53-man roster, that was also a surprise? I didn't think they were going to keep 3 quarterbacks. But now that they've kept Brock Purdy, I mean, are they just setting Jimmy G up to possibly be traded before the November 1st deadline, or is he going to stick with this team through the season?
Well, that's possible. They could still move him. He's certainly more attractive on that contract. But, yeah, that's kind of a scary thought, right? Like, our 2 quarterbacks that we're going to go into are Trey Lance, who's super inexperienced, and the last pick in the draft. Like, and again, like, that's part of it with Jimmy Garoppolo. He's not judged by what I think should be the standard for an NFL quarterback. He's always judged by, well, who else is on the 49ers? What other crappy quarterback is on the 49ers, right? We heard, well, he's better than Nick Mullins. He's better than C.J. Beathard. Yeah, great. Congratulations. Those guys are trash bags at quarterback, okay? That's not the standard for what you want on your team. And so here we are again, and it's like, well, the backup options were Sudfeld and Purdy, so I guess we got to have Jimmy Garoppolo back. Like, that shouldn't be the standard of whether you can have a job on this team or not.
Yeah, this leash is not going to be long for Trey Lance. I do agree with that, and it's going to be fascinating to see that. How do you think Trey Lance will fare, especially behind this offensive line that has a lot of warts? I mean, there's going to be basically 3 new starters, and then Mike McGlinchey on the right side. Everybody keeps saying Trent Williams and Mike McGlinchey are going to be back. Well, Trent Williams is going to be back. Do we not remember the images of Mike McGlinchey in 2020? I mean, this line is going to be problematic, and that's why I worry the most for Trey Lance.
Yeah, I think it's going to be kind of helter-skelter. It's not going to be smooth. That's not who Trey Lance is. He's not a natural thrower of the football. He's going to miss some guys that Jimmy Garoppolo would hit. I think that's clear from the little that we have seen from Trey Lance. But I think the big play potential, and he's going to make enough big plays, is going to be there so that they're still going to be able to move the ball. And this is why I'm worried about the leash on him, because people expect him to just come out like gangbusters, and I don't think that's what we're going to see. But I think that they're forgetting. The 49ers last year did not come out like gangbusters, guys. There was a ton of times, in fact, 11 times last year, including the playoffs, where they scored 10 points or fewer in the first half of games, including 6 in the first 8 games. Yeah. They came out, and they were not lighting it up on the scoreboard with Jimmy Garoppolo. And if Trey Lance does that this year, he's going to get replaced, which is totally unfair.
Robin, some of your latest work for Niners Nation, you do think that there's a chance that this splits the locker room with Jimmy Garoppolo there as the backup quarterback. And you did set some precedent toward the end where you said Pete Carroll did a pretty good job building the Seahawks culture in 2012, and players on that team nearly revolted after Russell Wilson lost his first game as a pro. Obviously, Matt Flynn was the backup there. But haven't Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch shown that the culture is pretty damn strong over there in Santa Clara?
Yes, it is. It's probably the biggest asset that they have built since they have come. But the players ultimately do not care about that. They care about winning that week's game. It's why Jimmy Garoppolo had so much support in the locker room in spite of some of the poor performances we saw with him. Because all they knew is, I am busting my butt, right? I'm playing hurt. I'm playing tired. I'm working all the time to win these games. And when that guy starts, we win. And that's what it's going to come down to. Imagine if they lose to Justin Fields the first week.
Oh, my gosh.
It's going to be incredible. And so the fact that the 49ers have signed up for this just, again, shows me that there is something about Trey Lance that they are not 100% sold on.
Hey, Rob, you lived up to your moniker, Stats on Fire. You on fire here on the roast. We can't wait to do it again. I don't know if you're going to be in Chicago, but if you are, hit me up. I'll be out there, and it's going to be I just can't believe I got the image of Jimmy Garoppolo running out of the tunnel at Soldier Field wearing a 49ers jersey, something I did not foresee happening for the 2022 season. It's going to be fascinating, though. Trey Lance, Jimmy, and the 49ers with the Super Bowl roster. Can't wait to see it develop. Rob, thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me anytime.
Thanks a lot, Rob.
Rob Guerrera, Niners Nation. Quick thoughts on that, because I want to get to the calls. The calls just lit up here. Yeah, people want to talk, man. This is a story that's not going to die anytime soon.
I think he put it. I made his point eloquently, and he's essentially saying, "Look, man, like I can agree with the sense of." Like when, for example, Josh Allen, we were always comparing Trey Lance to Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. Like the reason I thought Josh Allen had a chance to thrive because he was not good in his 2 years. If Trey Lance were to have the performance that Josh Allen had in 2 years, Niner fans would want to run him out of town. But the thing is, they didn't have another option as a backup quarterback. I believe was Fitzpatrick there as a backup his first season. I can't remember when they first drafted.
Matt Barkley.
Matt Barkley, yeah.
Who knows? Could have been something.
So I do think that this creates a lot more pressure for a 21-year-old than maybe you'd want, because we haven't really seen it too much with guys like Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. So I agree with him in that aspect. I don't know. Like, who knows what's going to... Like, this is why I can't wait for the season to start, Bonte.
Yeah, we all can't wait.
Because it's all talk, man.
It's all talk. Wait. But we're going to get a lot of action. And every throw, I'm just sitting there, and before I went to bed, I'm like, I'm looking at Anna, I'm like, babe, we're going to be out there at Soldier Field.
Yeah.
And the first 3 throws, Trey may start 0 for 3. And I'm thinking positive, right? But I'm like, it's just going to be... So every single play, there's going to be so much stress based on every single play. I do want to get to the lines before we get to before we hit the break and then save that thought. Let's get to the lines real quick, because there are a lot of people talking. Priscilla in San Jose. Priscilla, what's happening? Start us off. You're on the roast.
Good morning.
Good morning, Priscilla.
I just feel like everybody who's dating Trey Lance are the same people who have participation trophies. I mean, we had the same situation with Steve Young, Joe Montana. You know, he got hurt in a playoff game, almost came back, didn't make it. Next year, Joe Montana wins the Super Bowl. Competition's healthy for you. Got to have it. I mean, the fact that we're already like, he's going to do bad. Oh, no, we need to dummy down the playbook. We are ready to win a Super Bowl, and that means the best man is going to take us there. And if that's not Trey Lance, that's not Trey Lance.
Yeah. You're right, Priscilla. You're right. Let's go to Rob and Bruno. Rob and Bruno, real quick, before the break. What's up, Rob?
Man, folks need to stop and relax. Man, Trey Lance is the better quarterback. Kyle Shanahan knows this. If you play Madden, right, you try to play with Jimmy Garoppolo, you playing against another good Madden player, your playbook is limited, okay? Kyle Shanahan knows what he got in Trey Lance. Jimmy Garoppolo's in his best position he's been. He's a great backup. That's why he's making $6 million now, okay? Let's calm down. This is what gets me. We putting all this pressure on Trey Lance and doing all this, but this pressure wasn't on Jimmy. Why are we putting all this on Trey? When Jimmy got here, there wasn't no pressure on him to win a Super Bowl. He's proven he can't do it. He can't make plays to win, so why are we tripping off him? To me, Trey Lance is built that way. He's built that way. It's no competition. If it was competition, Trey Lance wouldn't even be starting. He wouldn't even pick 2 first-round picks. So, in my opinion, people calling thinking Jimmy Garoppolo going to take this job, it's not going to happen. Brandon Ayuk ain't having that. He ain't having that. It's going to be problems. So, at the end of the day, from what I've seen from last year's camp and this camp, Brandon Ayuk is a different guy. And what I saw was that he didn't think Jimmy Garoppolo gave him an opportunity to be a receiver. He said that a few times, like, let me be a receiver. Yeah. So, I feel like, I'm not worried. Trey gonna hold it down. You know I'm a believer in Trey. Big arm, and he got the personality for it. So he has instinctual football.
No doubt, Rob. Hey, Rob, we got to run. Thanks for the phone call. It's good to hear your voice. You know, football season's back when Rob is calling. Jay and Jonathan, we'll get to you on the other side. Langford, I want to pick up on your thoughts on the other side as well, but we got to hit the break here. We're a little late. 888-957-9570. The lines are wide open. Jonathan and Jay, we'll get to you on the other side. Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance, a lot of people are split with this. Boy, this is going to be a fascinating dude. It's just, I can't believe Jimmy Garoppolo's back. I still can't believe it.
And I'm thinking about the Phil Simms interview and the preseason stats that we talked about.
Yeah.
I want to correlate that with something I saw last night on Hard Knocks and talk about that on the other side.
No doubt. We'll do that. And that'll be sponsored by Fremont Bank Full Service Banking. No compromises.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Breathe new life into life at home with IKEA Festival. 10 topics, 1 purpose. To get more out of the homes we love. What are you passionate about? Art? Dance? Music? Food? Fur babies? Get inspired, create, and share with us. With celebrations, giveaways, IKEA family offers, and live streams with expert advice. It's all happening at IKEA Festival. Join us from August 26th through September 10th online or at your local IKEA store. Learn more at IKEA-USA.com.
Okay, you know those amazing spots only the true San Francisco locals are in on? Like that place with the square pizzas? Or Mama the spot for sweet and sour chicken that's anything but so-so.
Order up!
You know, with the Granch dressing. And all the other spots the real SF locals know without us even saying them. Yeah, they're on DoorDash. San Francisco gets it. DoorDash has it.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? Join the United States Postal Service and apply for roles nationwide. Serve your community with pride and receive benefits including competitive pay and opportunities for advancement. Whether you are looking for full-time, part-time, or seasonal positions, we have options that may be perfect for you. The United States Postal Service is an equal opportunity employer. Apply now at USPS.com/careers.
T-Mobile believes customers deserve to get more without paying more. Everything from entertainment benefits like Netflix on Us to travel benefits to Scam Shield protection, all with taxes and fees included. So the price you see is the price you pay. When you're a T-Mobile customer, you get over $225 in value every month in benefits with our Max Family Plan.
That's like paying for nosebleed seats and getting to sit in the front row.
That's right. At T-Mobile, your family gets over $225 worth of value and benefits with our Max plan each and every month. Plus, with our Price Lock Guarantee, we won't raise your rate plan price for talk, text, and data ever.
That's like paying for a cab and getting a stretch limo.
At T-Mobile, you get value beyond the expected.
Qualifying service required. Value based on included monthly benefits. Sales tax and regulatory fees included in Max's monthly price. Price Lock guarantees rate price of talk, text, and data for new accounts with qualifying service. Exclusions apply. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Progressive presents Don't Do It Yourself.
Okay, fixing a water heater. Easy peasy.
Oh yeah? So you know how to secure the skiff joint?
Yeah.
Detach the steam pump?
Takes 2 seconds.
And fasten the dew bolt to the pressure tube?
Yeah, my dad taught me how to do that.
Oh, that's interesting, because I made all those things up. Look, we should just bundle our home and auto with Progressive. We could save big, then pay someone to do it for us.
That's cool. This double's the wrong size anyway.
Save when bundling home and auto with Progressive and use the money to, not do it yourself. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Pink Floyd's Roger Waters. This is not a drill.
We're doing a show in the round. It's something new. I'll look forward to the challenge.
Featuring his songs from the golden era of Pink Floyd. Friday and Saturday, September 23rd and 24th, Chase Center in San Francisco. Tickets on sale now at RogerWaters.com.
This is not a drill.
Produced by AEG Presents.
Whether you're buying a new car or used one, it's a big investment, which is why you should choose Pennzoil Platinum. It helps extend the life of your engine and protect it up to 15 years or 500,000 miles, whichever comes first, guaranteed. That's because Pennzoil's base oil is made from natural gas and 99.5% free from engine clogging impurities. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Enrollment required. Keep your receipts. Other conditions apply. See Pennzoil.com/warranty for full details. Find it at Firestone Complete Auto Care.
In Menlo Park, we're looking for sunny skies, highs near 77.
Weather brought to you by the Odyssey app.
Did you know you can get your local news, traffic, and weather for free on the Odyssey app? Download the Odyssey app so you're always a tap away from the news you need to keep you moving throughout your day.
Now batting, Xfinity Internet. It's made to do anything, so you can do anything. Supercharge your home with incredibly fast and powerful supersonic Wi-Fi. With 3 times more bandwidth, it covers all the bases, and then some. And strike out billions of threats with advanced security that helps keep you safe at home and on the go. If you're keeping score, that's internet that does it all. That's unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas.
I love Law & Order because it's the same episode every single time.
John Mulaney is bringing The Lost back to the Bay Area, September 17th at the Concord Pavilion. For your shot at tickets, listen to Willard and Dibbs every morning this week at 10:30.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
Oh, this is a banger. Damn, Craig Mack. Damn, Craig Mack. You got me going, Craig Mack.
I want you to picture a 13-year-old nice guy Steven.
Bumping this.
With a boom box in his room, bumping this as loud as possible.
Come on, give it to me, Lightford.
Trying to do the where the hood, where the hood, where the hood at. Oh, I can't do it with the timing. Where the hood. Okay, whatever.
Where the roasters at? 888-957-9570. Where the roasters at? Where you at? 888-957-9570. Uncle Phil Sims joined us at 7:30. Said a lot. Said, hey, this could potentially divide the locker room. Guys are going to be talking because they know they won a lot of games with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. Trey's going to have to hear that. However, if Trey can't handle this, then he's not the guy. He's not the guy that you're going to move forward with. So, 888-957-9570. Another question here, 415. Teams don't carry 3 quarterbacks. Why do you think they kept Purdy? The plan has always been to deal Jimmy Garoppolo, and it still is. He will be dealt ASAP. I'm not so sure about that, buddy. I'm not so sure that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be dealt.
No, I'm not sure either. I think the Brock Purdy edition is interesting, but back to what you were saying about Phil Sims, like we get these texts. It's more of just these evergreen type of texts. It's not anything specific, but it's saying everything that's within the locker room is media, media driven. It's all just a fake narrative. Well, Phil Sims said, "Oh no, it's real." It's not
real.
like it can be real. I mean, come on, we're all humans here. It's not like we're just robots and Jimmy's just going to accept being the backup. Like Jimmy's going to want to start because he's a competitor, and Trey Lance is going to feel him breathing down his neck because that's just natural based on where they're at.
We'll get to Jonathan in just a second. Do you remember going into the 2018 season, the hype around the 49ers after Jimmy Garoppolo had that run? The hype was real, right?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people were picking the Niners to go to the playoffs.
Man, you got Jimmy, you got your quarterback, you got your head coach. Like, you are set right now. That's what it was like in 2018.
Okay. So as soon as they got to Kansas City, and as soon as Jimmy Garoppolo tore that ACL, the season was over because of one player, Jimmy Garoppolo. Because the backup situation was trash. What's it beyond Nickel Nick, Money Mullins, whatever you want to call him. CJ Beathard, your season was done. So I get why the Niners would say, you know what? We got a damn good thing here right now in San Francisco. We do. We really, really do. You get that situation in 2018, Niner football was unwatchable once we turned the calendar over, flipped the calendar to October. It was over. It was unwatchable.
Right.
They were terrible. Right? You had the Battle of the Bay. Remember Levi Stadium? 2 bad football teams on the Thursday night. That was awful. It was awful. Even though it was Mullen's finest moment, it was still awful. So you don't want to get back. You don't want to be put in that situation because, look, I know a lot of people are fans of Brock Purdy. I'm done ripping Brock Purdy. He's on the roster. I'm going to root for him. I hope the young man does well. It's a great story. Last pick of the draft, you make a 53-man roster, and it's the 49ers roster that is loaded. Shout out to Brock Purdy. Cool. I don't think he's a great quarterback, but whatever. You cannot go into Chicago with him as your backup quarterback. You cannot do that. You can't. Not with Trey Lance and the uncertainty of whether, because he runs. He's, at times could be reckless.
I think there's two sides to it. One, you just saw Nate Sudfeld get picked up by the Detroit Lions. We saw Nate Sudfeld. Nobody liked watching Nate Sudfeld during the preseason. Nobody thought that he could be the backup for this team, that he's the bona fide number 2. We all thought, all right, you give him $2 million guaranteed, put him on the practice squad, no one's going to try and pick him up. They would. Brock Purdy probably would get picked up if you put him on the waiver wire, so maybe the Niners just want to stash him is just even more of an insurance just in case Jimmy G gets hurt. Jimmy G is the number 2, no doubt. But, you can't take away that there is a chance that maybe a star quarterback gets hurt on a contending team, and they'd be willing to give up some draft capital in order to get Jimmy Garoppolo here. Something higher than the third round pick compensation they'd get at the end of the year. So I think both, you can look at it on both sides there. I don't think, we just got to wait for the season, Vontae.
Yeah, Jonathan in the city. Jonathan in the city. What's your thoughts on Jimmy being back?
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, remember I told you about a couple of weeks ago, it started weird, it's going to end weird, it's about to get weird, Vontae. Hey, what if I told you everything that's done by Jimmy's camp is by design because he wants to stay here? That's why he has a no-trade clause. He ain't going anywhere, Vontae. I feel like Jimmy feels like he's got unfinished business. Everybody's talking about, it takes at least 3 years for a guy to get a grasp of be an NFL quarterback, especially a Kyle Shanahan complex offense, right? So I think Jimmy's banking on the fact that, hey, either by injury or just a trade that's not getting the offense to where Kyle wants it. I think Jimmy's banking on the fact that, hey, at a certain point, I'm going to get my job back, and I'm not going to give it back to him.
There's some truth to that, Jonathan. There is. I think Don Yee won this situation for his client. He did the best he could for his client. Now everybody's going to point to the pay cut, and I get it. You give it up from going from $24.2 million down to $6.5. Only $6.5 is guaranteed. I get it. Everybody said, "Oh man, $18 million pay cut, ha Jimmy, ha." Well, damn, he's got $100 million in the bank in Subway commercials. Who's really laughing?
He does.
Who's really laughing? And he sets himself up by being a consummate professional. And you guys all know I'm not the biggest Jimmy fan anymore. I'm all about Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance is going to be a great quarterback. I really do. I believe in the kid. I really believe in the kid. Even though this situation looks murky, and I get why people will say, this is an indictment on Trey Lance in his preseason showing or blah, blah, blah. And you heard Phil Simms talk about some of the accuracy issues.
Right.
I get it. He's raw. I get it. I get all that. That's why I wanted to play him last year to shed off the rust in that first season with a loaded roster so he could be ready to go for year 2. But that's hindsight 2020, right? That's neither here nor there. But I think Jimmy and Don Yee are in the best situation possible for this year. Then they get back out on the market. Jimmy has a couple good games, or if he's just on the sideline and he doesn't say anything, he's still going to get about $12 million per season next year when he hits the open market, and that's all Jimmy wanted.
Yeah. And also, like, to anyone who's saying, well, Jimmy showed his worth, the fact that nobody's willing to pay him over $6.5 million on the open market, because that was the talking point yesterday too. Right. Was, well, you know what? Maybe Jimmy's not that good of a quarterback if teams don't think he's worth $6.5 million. Some teams just don't have the funds. Not everyone can just give up $6.5 million, especially toward the end of a season when you still have roster spots that you're trying to figure out. It's a lot to put on a quarterback. Yeah. But he also, I'm fully going to say that, and I've been saying this for a while now, maybe the place that Jimmy would have had success to me would have been Cleveland, maybe Pittsburgh, maybe New Orleans, but Cleveland was the one for me because they got a great O-line, they got a great run game. I'm not really sure about how we'd worked with wide receivers, but the defense is going to be good in Cleveland. Like, they got an overall good roster, but you don't want to go to a team with Deshaun Watson who's waiting there just to get off his 11-game suspension and then try and face the Texans in Week 12.
The league told you. Nobody wanted Jimmy coming off that surgery. The league told you that. Now,
true.
Was it a good strategy by Donnie and Jimmy Garoppolo to delay the surgery? Because if they don't delay the surgery, what if Washington steps in? Because they wanted Jimmy. We all know that. They wanted Jimmy. Jimmy probably didn't want to go to Washington. Probably didn't want to go to that organization. Maybe he didn't. And the Niners have tried to do right by Jimmy Garoppolo. We heard that yesterday from Shanahan and Lynch. They tried to do right by him.
You're totally right with the Mitch Trubisky point. You made that yesterday.
Yeah.
But look at what happened with Mitch Trubisky. You know? Sits as a backup behind Josh Allen over there in Buffalo.
$2 years, $14 million.
And now he gets this deal with the Steelers. Teams are probably going to be willing to pony up a little bit more money for Jimmy G, just knowing where he's been at, because you can't really compare Garoppolo to Mitch Trubisky. Those guys are still the same. I mean, Shasky yesterday was making the point that, you know, Joe Flacco's able to survive under Zach Wilson. It's not like Zach Wilson feels any pressure, but I'm like, okay, but Joe Flacco's Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco's
like 60 years old.
Yeah, Joe Flacco's cooked, which, you know, you kind of think like, damn, why didn't the Jets trade for Jimmy? What was the intel? You know, Robert Saleh and maybe, I don't. No market. Nobody knows, but Jimmy's cleared, folks.
Right.
What we heard from Shanahan and Lynch yesterday, Jimmy is cleared. He's going to be the number 2 quarterback Week 1 behind Trey Lance.
Now, where's from the 415 Comcast Business Text line? People need to make their mind. We are a Super Bowl team. We will not be trading Jimmy. Purdy's not winning a playoff game or a Super Bowl. We're so far from being a top franchise. We think we're a contender, but operate as if we're rebuilding.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that either. I think they got a really good roster. And this actually brings me to a point, going back to Phil Simms and what he said. Because you've heard this with anyone who's an old school type of quarterback. A lot of the pros, you know, a lot of the analysts that we bring on here. It's that preseason stats, or not preseason, excuse me, practice stats do not matter. And I was watching Hard Knocks last night.
Yeah, bring that up.
And Hard Knocks, there was a moment where they were in 11-on-11s and the offense just took over. I think the ones who brought up the stats were the defense, and that was Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator. And he said, they went 16 of 18 against us. That can't happen. Whenever we're looking at practice stats, I mean, we're always focusing on Trey Lance. Oh, what are Trey Lance numbers looking like? Well, can't we give credit to the defense? Like, this defense is supposed to be a top 5 defense this year.
I mean,
this team is a top. Like, can't we give credit to the defense a little bit? I've never seen it when I've seen practice stats written. I have never seen, but the defense played it really well, and you got to give the defense credit here. It's always, we don't know if Trey Lance is going to struggle here. Does this mean that he's going to be a different quarterback? I think watching Hard Knocks last night, it changed my perception on that.
You know, that's a great point, nice guy. Nobody brings it up.
It's an excellent point by me.
Yeah, it is. I gave you a compliment. Damn, you'd have to take.
No, I'm going to build on that, man. I get a compliment. I'm going to build on it myself.
I give you compliments all day, man. Take it a stride. No, I don't want to give you. I want to take it back. No, seriously.
Really?
In all honesty, no. It's a top 5 defense. Isn't that going to make Trey better? Like, he's going to see the Chicago Bears defense and be like, "Oh, Roquan Smith. Okay, he's solid, but I don't see no Nick Bosa on this team." I don't see a Kinlaw. I don't see an Armstead. I saw Fred Warner Jr. all training camp. He tested me. Okay, I can do this. They don't have the pass rush that my team has. So I don't get why when we're looking at there's context to everything, right, Shasky? There's context to everything. There's nuance to everything. Well, there is nuance to this situation. You're a young quarterback going against this defense with Nick Bosa breathing down your neck. I think he's going to make Trey better. No wonder he, at times, was inaccurate. Nick Bosa's coming after his ass.
Bosa, you just named the front four. You just named the front four when the linebacking core is looking to be the best in the NFL.
Yeah.
If you look at any of the preseason rankings, like nobody wants to look at rankings, I understand that, but I'm a big list guy, Bonte. I don't know if you know this. I love lists. You give me a top 10, I'm gonna open it. It's a clickbait thing, but I love lists. Big list guy. And there was Mike Clay of ESPN who ranked his 32 position group or the position groups for all 32 teams. You know, he had ranked number 1 for linebackers.
Right.
Niners.
Wow.
The defensive line within the top 5. Like there's some really good D lines out there. You know what I mean? So and I think Kinlaw is one that not a lot of people talk about right now. I think he will be talked about through the season just based on his build and how he looked in camp and preseason. He was destroying dudes in Minnesota.
Shout out to my guy Ben the Wildcat. What up, Bernie? You still in Boston, Bernie? What's happening?
Bernie.
He's listening right now.
Bernie
Hashtag
Williams?
Trey area. Not Bernie Williams.
No?
The great Yankee. Not Bernie Mac.
Bernie Kosar?
Not Weekend at Bernie's. Not Bernie Kosar. My guy Ben. Bernie. Shout out Reardon High School. But he just tweeted at us saying, Jimmy G trying to solidify his legacy as the best backup quarterback in NFL history, chasing a record-tying 3 Super Bowl rings as a backup. Time to let this thing shake out. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
I just can't sit there and imagine, though, that Jimmy's just going to stand idly by. Of course, he wants his team to succeed and he wants the team to win. But, man, you got $14.5 million of incentives on top of the $6.5 million in base money. I mean, if you're going to go in the game, I feel like he's, with that money that's involved.
Now that we've got the news and we've heard from Shanahan, and I can't wait for practice tomorrow. Practice tomorrow is going to be dynamic down in Santa Clara. Man, can I join? No, I can't. I can't even make practice tomorrow. Damn it. I want to go down there. Because I think this is going to bring out the best in Trey Lance. Again, I was on record saying, Langford, let Trey compete with Jimmy and just let him beat him outright. I thought Trey was better than Jimmy in training camp last year. I swear to God I do. I believe that. My own 2 eyes, reports, well, whatever. He's raw, he's a rookie, you can't do it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's past. Made the NFC Championship game. You did some great things. I think the competition would have brought out the best in Trey, and I think Jimmy being there is going to make Trey Lance even better. I think he's looking at this like, okay, who's riding with me now? I know number 10 is behind me. I'm going to step my game up even more. So Trey's a gamer, man. We heard from his college coach, and I think people forget that. Trey Lance is a gamer. And I think we're going to find out week 1 against Chicago.
I think he's going to turn out to be a really good quarterback.
Yep.
I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. And I think there was something to what Rob was saying about how, there are going to be some growing pains. Well, growing pains, they're gone now that Jimmy's the backup. They are. You're not going to have any room for growing pains. I think we've established that. I actually said...
But no, hold on.
What?
It's not like they're going to throw the ball 40 times a game.
That's true.
This is going to be a defense that's going to stuff you.
Yeah.
You're going to have a strong running game with Elijah Mitchell, whether it's Trey Sermon, Jeff Wilson Jr., or Troy Mason, whoever it is, whoever's going to be the number 2 back. I don't care who's carrying the ball. Shanahan has showed you that no matter who carries the ball, they're going to produce in this offense. Doesn't matter. It's not like Trey Lance going to be in shotgun throwing 45 times a game.
Right.
Go look at the box score from RG3's first game. And I'll pull that up in just a second. Down in the Superdome, he threw it, I believe, 25, 26 times. That's going to be the template.
Yeah.
That's going to be the template.
Personally, I don't want to see Jimmy G play at all this year. Like, I don't want to. No matter what the noise is, like, even if Trey struggles, Bonte, we're going to be getting a lot of that. Jimmy needs to start. Like, I personally don't even want to see him start at all this year. It depends on the way that Trey's struggling, but I don't think Trey's going to struggle to the point like Rob had in his previous post, where in 2012 with the Seahawks, when Russell Wilson went down 0-1 in his first game after the first week, Seahawks fans are saying you need to get Matt Flynn in there. Like, the noise is going to be there. I personally don't think they should at all.
Week 1, Robert Griffin III, first game ever under Mike Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan with Washington. They beat the Saints down in the Superdome, 40-32. Robert Griffin III threw the ball 26 times, 19-26, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran the ball another 9 times for 42. Alfred Morris, remember him? Former 49er, our boy Alfred. 28 carries in that football game. 28. Their running backs ran the ball 34 times in that football game on top of the 9 carries that Robert Griffin III had. That's going to be the template. 20 to 25 throws. control passing game.
Yep.
Dynamic plays. And that's what's missing in this offense. Big chunk plays that Jimmy couldn't help this offense get. Trey Lance is going to stretch that field. He's going to stretch that football down the field. I think he's going to be just fine.
And with the 11 attempts that he had over there against Houston, he had the one deep ball to Debo. Let's just say you give him 9 more chances to throw the football at least. You're probably going to get a couple of those chunk plays in there. And then once a big play happens, whether it be to Danny Gray, Brandon Ayuk, I don't know, Ray McLeod, Debo, whoever it is, fans are going to be like, oh, okay, this is something we haven't really seen.
This is the best weaponry Shanahan has had since he's been in San Francisco. The best set of weapons he's had since he's been in San Francisco. Brandon Ayuk is going to explode this year. We know who Debo is, and hopefully Debo stays healthy. Danny Gray has speed. Speed. He's not going to remind anybody of Trent Taylor or freaking Richie James Jr.
Right.
Then you still got George Kittle, the ultimate safety valve. So the weaponry that Trey Lance is going to be able to work with that control passing game, I think they're going to be just fine. Let's go to Bay Rob real quick in the city. Our boy Bay Rob. It's been a long time since we heard from him. It must be football season. Bay Rob, what's happening?
You know what time it is, guys. It is football season. Dante, I'm going to see you in Chicago, baby.
Let's go.
I got a question for you, Dante.
What's up?
Is you over Jimmy G? Is you over Jimmy G, Dante?
I was over Jimmy G. Because Shanahan and Lynch, or Shanahan specifically, they basically told us that they're ready to move off of Jimmy by drafting Trey Lance and by flirting with Kirk Cousins and flirting with Tom Brady. So after a while, I'm just like, you know what? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, me too. So I'm at the same thing. So I'm ready to take my lashes with Trey. I ain't finna start whining and start doing all this to the middle of the season. We got to evaluate Trey and see what's going to happen with our own eyes. We know it's going to be a roller coaster ride.
There we go.
So we got to get ready for that. But I want to see with my own eyes. And Dante, when it hit the fan, you know who I'm looking at. I'm looking at Shanahan, bro.
Yep.
He the one created this monster. So since he created this two-headed monster, let's see how he go handle it. That's all I got for you guys. Go Niners, Game 1 Chicago, baby.
Let's do it. Bay Rob, always fired up, and he's always on the move. He's always on the move. He's always in traffic hitting 90.
You were talking about the wide receivers that Trey's going to have. You forgot about Ray McLeod, who's going to be used in special teams a lot.
I like Ray.
Hey, this was something that I had when you were in Europe. This is my bold prediction here, Bonte. Because I was watching the top 100. Debo was voted number 19. I was watching the video of Debo. And they showed the clip of him. He's like, Debo's a do-it-all type of player. He can even throw, and then they showed him throw the touchdown. You know who's going to be that guy? It's going to be Ray.
Ray.
Back in Buffalo, he had two stints with the Bills.
Yeah.
And in 2019, I didn't know this.
That's good research.
This is good research.
This
dude was the scout team quarterback against the Bills in 2019. And I watched him in practice, catching punts from the jug machine or catching kickoffs, whatever, from the jug machine. And I saw him throw. I had the Adrian Peterson. When I seen him throw that ball, I said, "Oh my God!"
I need that.
And then I looked up Ray McLeod, and I saw he was a scout team quarterback with the Bills. So my bold prediction for this year, I know we're talking about Trey and Jimmy, but if I'm gonna pick a receiver to throw a touchdown pass this year, maybe Deebo Samuel will be up there. But I guarantee you, Ray McLeod is going to be used at least once.
Can you bet on that?
I don't know. You're convinced?
Yeah, I am convinced. I do want that shot. When I seen him throw that ball, I said, "Oh my God, Alex, you in trouble? You in trouble." That's how I felt in the first preseason game when I saw Trey Lance throw that ball to Trent Sherfield. However, it was even training camp, and the team's broadcaster, the radio play-by-play voice of the 49ers, the first Saturday practice Trey Lance had last season. Guy looked at me, Shasky said, "This is the best throwing practice I've ever seen from an individual," and that was Trey Lance.
Yeah.
So we'll see. That.
He's a very easy guy to root for, too. I mean, just listening to him talk and seeing the way that he carries himself, both Trey and Jimmy, quite frankly, are easy guys to root for.
Yeah, no,
they are.
By the way, we're about to get the flex moment, the flex moment of the show. The YouTube chat, so funny.
It's going off.
They said it's so good to have the Niners back. Giants Talk had to chat under 87 listeners. We're back over to 200,
Hey,
right?
man.
And then Lubman hits me with this breaking news in all caps.
Oh, boy.
All these exclamation points. It's official. The Padres and Giants will play a 2-game set in Mexico City. These will be the first Major League regular season games in Mexico City. I'm here to tell you right now.
And they say there's no reason to get excited about the Giants. Ha!
Nobody cares. No, you travel to Mexico City to go watch the Giants play the Padres? It's really about the Padres being in Mexico City with all their talent. Nobody cares about the Giants.
If you want to talk about the NFL and, NFL talk gets people going, well, if you want to talk about the NFL being a powerhouse, did you see that no game in the Christmas Day slate of games for the NBA, none of those games rated as high as Steelers-Lions over the weekend?
That's unbelievable.
The third preseason game.
That's unbelievable. I was watching Steelers-Lions.
I'm sure Hard Knocks has something to do with it. I'm watching.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
I was watching it.
I was watching for Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, they were looking physical. The Lions look physical, man. They're fighting Dan Campbell's.
Aiden Hutchinson's a beast.
He's a beast.
He can be. Number 97.
I sure wasn't getting worked up over the Giants getting swept in Minnesota. Why would you do that to yourself? Jeez.
Marco Luciano, I'm telling you, look up the Grand Slam, man. There's something there. We'll see him in 2024.
Seek help and miss me with the Giants right now. They're busy losing 6 in a row. They're cooked.
That's why I'm wearing
Done.
green for the Eugene Emeralds.
Wake me. You know what? And this is why I said, yes. That's good.
Got the green mug, too. There's a little too much green.
Look, this is what's crazy. Because Niner season's about to start. We got the Warriors coming back. The Giants are going to have to do something massive for us to mention those dudes over the next 9 months.
Dude, the Giants could have signed Aaron Judge when the Niners said they were going to bring back Jimmy Garoppolo, and nobody would have even heard about it.
Listen. We may not mention the Giants until the opening day.
That might be a little hyperbolic, but you get
Maybe.
where I'm going.
Somebody would be Jack. Lubman and Shaska would have the fake optimism about spring training, and then we'll see the lineup for the first spring training game, and I'll say, wake me up opening day, and then after that, I'll say, wake me up training camp. That's where the Giants are at right now.